Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Quanmin. Necromancer is weak. I have unlimited skills. Chapter 91. I also intend to create a dummy, and the current Yan kingdom is only promising. Lu Feng said disdainfully, thinking of the undead incident at number 1 on the Qianlong list that caused a lot of noise in Yan kingdom 2 days ago. He couldn't believe it from the bottom of his heart. Look now, there is no news at all. What is it not fake? Coming out of the guild's residence, he quickly found the people from the Dark Temple. It was Priest Luo who walked out of the Dark Temple. Originally, Priest Luo wanted to go to Yunlu City to do things. Unexpectedly, before he arrived, he learned that a group of giants had appeared there. Even if he had 10 lives, he would not dare to go there. Then after the giants left, go again and find that the copy of Nightmare is gone. How is it possible? The corpse of the evil god is sealed inside. The corpse of the evil god, from a certain aspect, was stronger than the ordinary rank 9, but now, it disappeared together with the copy. He was so puzzled that his hair was going bald. Fortunately, it is not for nothing. Like Li Fang, after a round of investigation, he also suspected that the natural disaster was related to Lu Nan, which has become more popular recently, so, with the mentality that he didn't want to come in vain, he decided to give the 760 to Yan Guo. The top guild was looking for a little trouble, so it naturally found the Condor Guild. That's why he's here. Priest Luo, our president has agreed to your request, and we can cooperate to open the crack in the undead plane. However, we now have a better choice. After a while, Lu Feng found Priest Luo and explained his purpose. Priest Luo looked at the place he was talking about, and immediately frowned and said, the crack in the space can't be opened at will. The space in this place is very solid. If you want to open it, the price will be too high. I'm afraid we can't afford it. For the area around Yan Kingdom, people like Priest Luo who specialize in sabotage still have some general understanding. Otherwise, they would have been given away by the 4 top guilds long ago. Lu Feng said with a smile, that was before, but it's different now. We just received the news that for some reason, there was a crack in space, which led to the death of the Emperor's high-quality string. Interest. Oh, the news is true. Priest Luo was still a little reluctant. Opening the crack leading to the undead plane requires a lot of undead breath to support it. If Sakura disagrees, go to another country. Anyway, Yan Kingdom now has many enemies in the public area, and there is always one who is willing to join in. If there is an accident in changing the place, it is almost impossible to think about it again. Seeing Priest Luo's hesitation, Lu Feng smiled and said, Priest Luo is distressed about the materials arranged in advance. Since we dared to open our mouth to cooperate with you, we must have come with sincerity. We will supplement the materials arranged in advance. Just fine. The atmosphere is here, why would Luo Chassis hesitate? Happy cooperation. Happy cooperation. Then let's arrange it immediately. It's best to finish it within these 2 days. The sooner the better, otherwise, accidents will easily occur. Big Brother Lu's idea is exactly what I want. The two did not delay, and immediately began to arrange. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. On the other side, the location of the valley leveling. A huge butterfly turned into a stream of light and flew towards it. I don't know what the hell the eagle's black wolf is doing. Why did he retreat all of a sudden? I don't know. I guess there is something else going on. This time I still want to thank Mr. Shu Wei, otherwise, we might die and go back. Shu Wei stood at the front of Butterfly's back, and nodded lightly upon hearing this. Even though she was also wondering why the Hei Lang, who was in the upper hand, would leave suddenly, but in order to maintain the demeanor of a giant, she did not participate in the discussion. There must be a reason for the retreat of the Black Wolf, but I don't know if it has something to do with the land reclamation on the Qinggalan Mountains. Alas, Yanwang is getting more and more difficult now. I hope that the people selected by the old president will not be too bad. Shu Wei is not good at dealing with people. She belongs to the kind of nerd-style giant, so when everyone else went to the national border to watch the climbing ladder, she not only didn't go, she even knew very little about it. If it wasn't for the other giants who didn't, neither Kong nor Huang Fengyang would necessarily ask her to bring Lu Nan. There are people with cherry blossoms here, so you must clear the experience as soon as possible. Therefore, Shu Wei simply brought these guild members along. The strength of these people is not bad. There are 3 rank 6, 1 rank 5, and 1 rank 4, so they can help a lot. In particular, one of the rank 6 is a hidden professional clay bomber. If there are enough materials, the speed of group killing monsters is comparable to that of ordinary rank 7 giants. Wait for the 3 of you to attract monsters. You can use your clay bomb to output with me. Little you've only turned 4, and you're still a melee class, so you don't need to do anything. Just go with the newcomer I brought, and just eat experience while you're at it. Let's swipe as soon as possible, as much as we can swipe. After Sakura's job changer leaves, it shouldn't be so fast. What about people? At this time, the butterfly had already flown into the sky. Shu Wei looked down subconsciously, and suddenly gave a cry of surprise. There was no one in the place where Lunan was before. You won't leave, will you? Send a message and ask. She sent a message to Lunan, and then led someone to fall off the back of the butterfly. We're clearing monsters while, Shu Wei, whose attention was all attracted by the disappearance of Lunan, noticed that something was wrong with the others. AJ, Sister Shu, is this strange? Xiao Yu, who is the weakest, doesn't want to ask this kind of question, but it's too quiet here, and if you pay attention, you can see that in the valley, there are fallen trees and rocks, and you can see a large area at a glance. It's all empty. At this time, Shu Wei also came back to her senses, looking at a somewhat different valley. Yes, what's wrong? I remember, when I left, I still had a lot of experience to blame. Shu Wei's face gradually became serious, and she walked towards the valley. Suddenly, her face suddenly changed drastically. Quick, get out of here. The others were immediately frightened. 0. Seeing Shu Wei, a rank 7 giant with a terrified expression, she didn't dare to stay, so she quickly walked away. Something must have happened. If we stay here, we will only make Mr. Shu Wei look around, said the 6th rank job changer. Did you see anything? I should have seen something. There must have been some great event in the valley, and there may have been undead creatures in advance, said the 10-6 ranks in a deep voice. Because the position just now was a bit close to the periphery, my perception is not very clear, but I can vaguely detect the breath of undead flowing in the air. And this aura of undead is very terrifying, completely different from some auras of undead I have encountered before. It makes me feel a little trembling. After a meal of analysis, the 5 people were worried. And Shu Wei, who was breaking into the valley, was even more so. It's such a strong and terrifying undead breath. The further you go inside, the more intense the undead breath permeating in the messy grass, stones and trees. Even without backtracking spells, Shu Wei can imagine how horrible things happened here not long ago. Oops, could Lu Nan's disappearance be related to this incident? Shu Wei froze, hurriedly opened the data panel, and sent a message to the old president Huang Fengyang. Something went wrong, President. Sequence 1 is gone. Shu Wei, who was extremely self-blaming, was about to continue searching when suddenly, a message came, which made her feel like weeping with joy. I just went shopping elsewhere, I'll be right back. A few minutes later, when Lu Nan saw Shu Wei, he was met with a pair of resentful eyes, which made his skin crawl. Fortunately, Shu Wei was concerned about the terrifying vision in the valley, so she didn't say much, and directly dragged Lu Nan away from here. What happened? Why do they all look like they have been hammered? Lu Nan stood on the back of Butterfly, looking at the dignified faces of several people. He felt a little uneasy. Could it be that there is some terrible disaster waiting for me over there at the Union camp? Do I want to move on? Although he is very strong, he dare not say that he can ignore everything. In the struggle, finally, the guild resident arrived. A huge ancient city stands in a mountain range, and there are many large and small floating cities around. What surprised Lu Nan most is that in the ancient city, there stands a tall sculpture, but the sculpture's face has been changed. It's very blurry and I can't see what it looks like. All kinds of job changers came in and out, and it was very lively. Is this the guild's residence? Of course not. This is just a city built on the basis of our trade union resident. The real guild resident is elsewhere, Shu Wei said. I'll take you in. Soon, everyone landed in front of a huge temple in the city. Then, under Shu Wei's guidance, he stood on a teleportation array. A burst of blue light flashed, and the next moment, Lu Nan found that he had appeared in another magical place. This is the real secret place of the guild. Shu Wei followed Lu Nan to introduce. Lu Nan took a look, and saw that the other job transferees had disappeared, probably teleported to other places. Surrounded by various magical buildings, some even float above the void, exuding light like stars. There is a big sun in the sky, which will never set. Shu Wei took Lu Nan around for a while, and then came to a huge temple. Is this the career transfer temple? Lu Nan said in surprise. Not all. This is the core of the guild's residence, but it also has the function of changing jobs. Moreover, changing jobs here has many benefits. Benefit, yes. The most important point is that the job-changing temple here can obtain a cover buff. If you get this buff, you can temporarily cover up your own strength, thereby greatly reducing the probability of receiving difficult tasks. Surely this is a benefit. Lu Nan felt a little awkward in his heart. Although every time he receives a job transfer task, he can't help but slander the system that issued the task, but if the difficulty is really reduced, he really doesn't want to. The rewards brought by 3 9-star missions are very considerable. Lu Nan feels that this function is really tasteless. Seeing his expression, Shu Wei solemnly warned, "Don't take it to heart, the old president worked so hard to get this thing back." At that time, he was envious of people from other unions. What is there to envy? Lu Nan muttered. You must not easily accept the 9-star mission, you know. Okay. Lu Nan didn't bother to explain, and nodded. He knew that ordinary job changers were very apprehensive about accepting the 9-star mission at 20, after all, they had suffered various beatings, but he was different. Shu Wei noticed the indifference in Lu Nan's eyes and shook her head secretly. You are now a sequence 1, so I shouldn't influence your thoughts, but I still hope you can be more serious and responsible. After all, there is not much time left until the Void Monster descends. The Void Monster is coming. Can you tell me? You just need to know that there will be a huge test in a month. During this period, you should upgrade yourself as soon as possible. Therefore, don't think about the 9-star mission. As long as you don't take the 9-star mission, I can complete the job transfer task for you as soon as possible, and within a month, it is quite possible to be promoted to a 7th rank giant. I'll keep an eye out. Shu Wei continued to lead Lu Nan inside. After a while, they came to a metal gate. Old Lu, I brought sequence 1 here, and please open the ancient bronze door. Shu Wei opened her mouth towards the sky. After a while, a loud voice came down. Is this the sequence 1 that Huang Fengyang chose? Good. Shu Wei was taken aback. You know, Lu Lao, who has been guarding the guild's residence all year round, has extremely high vision, and he can say that he is good. In the past few years, there has been no one, including an SSS-level hidden professional. Is this guy really that powerful? Shu Wei glanced at Lu Nan. Thank you, Mr. Lu, for your compliment. Lu Nan said towards the top. The ancient bronze door is open, you go in. A gentle voice came from above. It made Shu Wei feel a little unbelievable again. Is this still the youngest Lu in memory? She has been here for more than 10 years, and she has never heard Lu Lao speak like this. If it weren't for the fact that this was the trade union's residence, and Mr. Lu was an extremely powerful giant, she would have been worried whether Mr. Lu had been held hostage. Ah, Sister Shu, don't we want to go in? Lu Nan took a step forward, seeing that Shu Wei beside him didn't move, and asked. Ah, go in, go in. Shu Wei blushed, feeling that her aura of giant seemed to have collapsed a bit. On the ancient bronze door, an old figure sat cross-legged there, his aura almost blending with the surrounding space. Strange boy, even I can't see through it. I don't know where Huang Fengyang found that kid. There was a hint of uncle's smile on Lu Lao's face. If other people knew about it, he would definitely be stunned. This old tycoon of Yanwang, who is serious and his face has not changed for thousands of years, actually has other expressions. However, this year's empty day is not the same as before. Lu Lao looked at the sky above his head, the stars appeared in his eyes, and he could vaguely see the deep darkness, and the frightening aura was constantly gathering. Judging by the momentum, it would take at most 10 days, reaching the previous level. He sighed deeply and closed his eyes again. If that moment really comes, we can only use that method. You just need to drop a drop of your own blood on the Guild God Stone. Behind the ancient bronze gate is a land of nothingness. Lu Nan saw a huge stone pillar standing in front of him at a glance, with a faint starlight emitting from it. Union God Stone. Grade 9. Description. This is the core of the trade union. Once it is destroyed, the trade union will be severely punished. Please guard it carefully. Skill. All stars reunited. Passive. After being attacked, it will temporarily use the power of all members of the guild to gather the statue of Guardian. The stronger the guild, the stronger the statue of Guardian. Note: the higher the sequence, the more power. This guild God Stone can still be attacked. Lu Nan felt a little unbelievable. Yes, this is the core of the foundation of the union. Shu Wei said. She explained and guided Lu Nan to operate. -1. As a drop of blood dripped onto the divine stone, a prompt popped up on Lu Nan's data panel. You have felt the call of the Guild God Stone. Are you willing to become a Sequence 1 member of the Guild Yanwang? This feeling is really advanced. Lu Nan was full of curiosity. Willing. The next moment, a burst of strong brilliance enveloped him, and when the brilliance dissipated, Lu Nan saw that around the sacred stone, a star that was originally very far behind suddenly burst into light, flying towards the front, and finally stopped at a very short distance. Near the Temple of the Union. Looking at the starlight spot as small as a potato, Shu Wei's expression tugged. Those stars represent the existence of each guild member. The stronger the strength, the larger the size of the star, and the closer to the Guild God Stone, it proves that the sequence is higher. It can't be. Why are my stars so small? Lu Nan was a little unbelievable. His stars are basically counting down. This should be related to your level. Your level is too low. Lu Nan scanned around, and sure enough, some of the stars were very big and bright. At the same time, a lot of information appeared in Lu Nan's mind. Those were all transmitted by the Union God Stone. You have ascended the throne of Sequence 1 and obtained the authority of Sequence 1. You get the bonus of Sequence 1. All attributes plus 100%. The contribution you get from completing guild missions is increased by 100%. The number of guild resource refreshes you get in each cycle is increased by 100%. A new Sequence 1 has been born. Activate the Sequence Guardian statue. A series of prompts directly made Lu Nan go numb from laughter. Not to mention other things, just the 100% attribute bonus has greatly improved his strength. The attribute sword almost doubled directly. And that tribute buff, it's so comfortable. Is there any? You study it carefully. I have some things to do. If you have any doubts, you can use the Union Star map to guide the navigation. If you really don't understand, just chat with me in private. At this time, Shu Wei said. On the way back, she had to report this series of incidents as soon as possible, and then see how to solve them. Shu Wei left in a hurry. Lu Nan fiddled with it, and left the ancient bronze door. Without seeing Lu Lao's figure, he could only summon the star map. It was a light curtain interface, with all the buildings and function descriptions of the entire trade union resident on it. It's so convenient. Go to the skill area to have a look. Lu Nan hit the skill area, and a pointing arrow began to pop up in the star map to guide the direction. Soon, he entered an unmanned temple. Union skills are somewhat different from their own 750 skills. If you want to improve your skills, you have to enter the skill temple, otherwise, you won't be able to improve them. So, the strength of the trade union's resident and job transferees are also closely related. If the guild's resident is destroyed, then the job transferees of this guild will definitely be hit hard. No wonder, the Grand Guild has requirements for recruiting people. If you recruit people casually, it will undoubtedly be an act of digging your own grave for a top trade union. The operation of the skill shrine is similar to that of the job transfer shrine. Lu Nan stepped onto a small teleportation array, a blue light flashed, and he appeared in a mysterious space. It has been detected that you do not have a union skill book, so you cannot unionize skills. A reminder sounded. Lu Nan grinned and opened the data panel. Below the guild information, find the guild skill store. Life Praise skill book, purchase needs 100 points of tribute. Number of times, unlimited. Mana Baptism skill book, purchase needs 100 tribute points. Number of times, unlimited. When he saw the unlimited number of times in the back, Lu Nan's heart was ready to move again. I don't know, when it reaches the limit of level 99, can it continue to be superimposed? If possible, then he will receive the skill level benefits beyond the 9th level trade union in advance. Immediately afterwards, Lu Nan opened the next union warehouse. Then, the whole person was shocked. Is this the guild's warehouse? The inventory is too rich. Sand armor, water of life, immortal dragon scale, angelic sword, spirit of galaxy. Various high-level equipment and items are neatly displayed there. Even though Lu Nan has come into contact with a lot of items, he is a little dazzled at the moment. He even saw a few holy artifacts on it. As expected of a top guild, it is simply too rich. Lu Nan's eyes widened suddenly, and the corners of his mouth almost shed tears of excitement. Found it. The third piece of extreme equipment. Hand of Jack's weapon. Quality. Legend. Attribute. All attributes plus 5%. Skill. Seal of haste. Magic bonus 5%. After using the skill, the effect of the skill is tripled, and the duration is 5 minutes. This piece of equipment was a bit unexpected to Lu Nan, because he was planning to stack mana to the end, but seeing this skill, Lu Nan hesitated. The skill effect is tripled and lasts for 5 minutes. For ordinary job changers, it may be a round of skills. But for him, it was able to bring out his skills to the extreme. 1 skill per second, if all used for skeleton summoning, it would be a full 300 times. Originally, he could summon more than 20 million skeleton warriors in 5 minutes, but now it has tripled, which is nearly 100 million. Moreover, he didn't know if the skeleton warriors summoned in 5 minutes could be strengthened. It is estimated that the forbidden curse of the undead system is nothing more than this. Lu Nan's itching was unbearable, and he wished he could get this piece of equipment now. For now, his limit for summoning skeleton warriors has reached more than 1 billion, and this still doesn't take into account the mana recovery effect of those equipment skills. If you add some potions that restore mana, this number can be doubled several times. Lu Nan couldn't figure out which force could stop the billions of king-level skeleton warriors. How could he be so low-key if he wasn't afraid of the sanctuaries, demigods, and even the gods who might be hidden? If I meet someone who is stronger, I might not give me that long to summon the skeleton. Therefore, Lu Nan intends to change his thinking and make some choices on the time and effect of summoning. I can try the skills with shortened cooldown and enhanced summons. There was brilliance in Lu Nan's eyes. This will be the direction he will consider in learning skills in the future. However, for now, we still need to earn enough tribute. Lu Nan opened the star map and found the guild task bar. There are many tasks on it. Collect materials, Sand of Stars, no time limit, reward guild to contribute 5,000 points. Help clear the difficult dungeon, Prison of Sand, for a limited time of 2 days, reward the guild to contribute 100 points. Upgrade task. Leveling with a brush, every time you upgrade by 1 level, the reward gang will contribute 10 points. That upgrade task was good. Lu Nan was a little moved. Fast upgrade can be said to be a very obvious advantage of oneself. Compared with other tasks, it is definitely the easiest thing to do. Find a leveling area, summon a few skeletons, and clear the map directly. However, bringing people is also a very troublesome thing, which affects the operation too much. However, looking at the tempting help, Lu Nan felt itchy again. Forget it, let's take a look at it first. If it doesn't work, just take a break for a while. Lu Nan looked at the contact information above, found the owner who posted the task in the channel, and sent a message. Outside the guild's residence, Yanwang City. In an advanced arena, 2 graceful figures collided fiercely. Both of them are women, and when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, they are not fancy at all. The bang-bang sounded continuously. From time to time, a lot of damage flew from them. A few minutes later, Long Wushwang felt a pain in his chest, and then 2 casserole-sized fists rushed over and knocked her into the air. 60,000 WW. A striking injury jumped out directly from her. Long Wushwang immediately fell to the ground with blood on his face. The victory and defeat have been decided. On the arena, a flash of light kicked the 2 out. Haha, how are you? Little Loach. They are also members of the top trade union, you are obviously not good at it. I am the strongest one. A triumphant laugh came from Enlan's mouth. Long Wushwang stared at Enlan on the opposite side as if his eyes were breathing fire. The 2 are similar in stature and looks, with protruding fronts and backward curls, delicate faces, no trace of fat on the waist and abdomen, family background, temper, everything is at odds. Even the talents are almost the same. Therefore, since childhood, when the two met, they would fight each other, and they had never convinced each other. This time, as usual, the two made an appointment at the arena as soon as they met. Obviously, Long Wushwang was defeated. You little difficult land person, what are you talking about? Isn't it because your rank is a little higher? When my aunt is promoted, I will beat you to the ground. Hey, I'm so scared. And Lan looked very cheap and unworthy of a beating, but the two little canine teeth were exposed, which made him a little more cute. But in the eyes of Long Wushwang, that would add fuel to the fire. You wait, TCH, don't think you have any plans in mind, I don't know. Don't you just want to take advantage of my rest and secretly find someone to practice leveling? But, I'm not afraid, who told me to be better than you? Can't keep up with Miss Ben. And Lan pouted and mocked. From childhood to adulthood, bickering like this is commonplace. Now, of course, it's at your fingertips. She also knows that with Long Wushwang's talent, if there is really a giant leading him, he will definitely be able to catch up. Pity. Before coming here, this girl should have inquired about it. Yanwang has not had any powerful giants available in the past few days. Not to mention Yanwang, even her trade union Phoenix Nine Heavens and the other two unions are extremely busy. She also took advantage of this opportunity to run over to explore the bottom. Unexpectedly, she directly caught her arch-rival, Long Wushwang. HMPH, the second beating sent up, if you don't beat him, you won't beat him. And Lan said proudly. Long Wushwang was so angry that his hair was going to fly. You wait, he said, and walked outside. Hey, you won't let me wait forever, will you? Let me tell you, this girl is born beautiful, and she will become a giant in the future. She won't wait so long for a small shrimp like you, wasting my time. One day at most, not one day, come on, this girl will go back. Long Wushwang stomped his feet, cursing in his heart, wishing he could turn his head back and fight another 300 rounds with his deadly enemy. However, she is not a fool. She knows that her current level is quite different from the opponent's, and going back will only add to the future jokes of her rival. Hey, what is this trade union doing? It's been so many days that no giant has accepted the task. Long Wushwang is also a newcomer this year. As soon as he came to the guild's residence, he used his family background to complete some tasks of collecting materials, obtained a large amount of guild contributions, and then sent the leveling tasks up. It's a pity that no caller took over the task for a few days. There are a few 6th rank pickups, but unfortunately, how can she see the 6th rank with her high-mindedness? Now, I feel a little regretful. At this moment, she suddenly saw a message from Lu Nan. What level are you now? So direct, it's kind of like a big guy's temperament. When Long Wushwang saw the message from Lu Nan, he immediately showed a hint of joy. This is really sleepy and come to the pillow. I don't know, how many revolutions is this boss? If it is 8 revolutions, it will be comfortable. While fantasizing, he happily replied to Lu Nan. Back to boss, I'm level 205 now. Do you want to accept the mission? Long Wushwang was a little nervous. It's not that she has never seen the world. As the daughter of the boss of a top trading house, she has come into contact with not 1 or 2 giants. It's just that now, just because of the stimulation of her deadly enemy, she is a little concerned. Level 205. Lu Nan nodded when he saw Long Wushwang's reply. Although this level is a bit high, it is still within the tolerance range. If it reaches rank 5, the experience needed to level up will be terrifying. Lu Nan doesn't want to spend too much time doing this kind of thing. It's just right, I'll go to swipe the boss later, and swipe some tributes. I've accepted the task. After a while, I'll send you the location. Lu Nan accepted the task. Guild member Bone Dragon, accepted your mission. Question mark. Long Wushwang looked at this strange name curiously, feeling a little confused for a while. Does the union have this boss? Or, is it my illness? I don't care, I also recognize the 6 turn and 5 turn. Let go of the mentality, and sure enough, the fighting spirit also came up. Long Wushwang hurriedly prepared, and then waited for the call of the big bone dragon. Lu Nan didn't care about the task that he took over. Many boss refresh points are in the red area, so don't be careless. Thinking of the information he just learned, Lu Nan was a little speechless. Those red areas refer to areas where there is a possibility of conflict with job transferees from other countries. The darker the color, the more likely it is. If you hunt the boss by yourself, you may meet a Sakura job changer. Don't be careless, Shaori. Sakura, who is doing well, still has strength. Lu Nan intends to sharpen his gun to increase his combat power. Open the space backpack and take out the Dream Corridor scroll. Do you want to enter the Dream Building Corridor? Enter. With a flash of light, Lu Nan has already appeared in the secret space minister of the Dream Corridor. It's Li's you. The dwarf old man was dissatisfied. Every time the scroll of the Dream Building Corridor is opened, it will consume some of the power of the scroll. If there is nothing wrong, don't go in and out frequently, otherwise, the existence of the scroll will be shortened. Quote. Lu Nan looked at the space backpack, and sure enough, the used Dream Corridor scroll originally existed for more than 4 days, but now, there are only less than 3 days left. However, it doesn't matter. Lu Nan took out the armor of Yumeng and a piece of ultimate equipment. Master, I have found something, please help me get my skills into a doctor. So fast. The dwarf old man was startled, then shook his head and said, Yumeng Holy Magic Set is a holy set, using some mediocre equipment skills to build dreams is to tarnish this set. As he said that, his hand touched the heart of the holy source that Lu Nan handed over. The words of the old dwarf stopped abruptly, and the old man blushed slightly. Master, this skill should be okay, right? Well, not bad, not bad. I'll build a dream for you right away. The dwarf master rushed into the room like flying. The quick steps made Lu Nan almost think that he had malicious intentions and wanted to take the equipment and run away. After a while, the room transformed into a huge furnace amidst rumbling sounds, and the figure of the dwarf master stood on it, beating continuously. After a while, okay, the dwarf old man wiped his sweat and handed the created Yumeng armor to Lu Nan. Lu Nan saw that the first set skill on the armor of Yumeng had already lit up. Dream building skills only need to be equipped with one piece, and the skills can be activated when the number of equipment you wear reaches the standard, said the old dwarf. Lu Nan nodded. In the next moment, everything in front of me quickly disappeared. Lu Nan returned to the guild's residence. Take a look at the data panel. The bonus effect of the heart of the holy source directly doubled the mana. Correspondingly, the combat power has also increased a lot. Comfortable. This improved efficiency made Lu Nan very addicted. There was another piece of equipment that Lu Nan didn't intend to keep, so he took out the second Dream Building Corridor Secret Realm Scroll and chose to use it. Do you want to enter the Dream Building Corridor? Enter. Adventurer carrying the token of the God of Dreams, you can let us cast what you want, it's you again. The old dwarf looked at Lu Nan in surprise. Do you still have a second piece of extreme equipment? Without hesitation, Lu Nan took out the feather of Yumeng and the demon scepter. Trouble master, it seems that your background is stronger than I imagined. The dwarf old man exclaimed. He knows how hard it is to find legendary extreme equipment. Unexpectedly, after a few days of hard work, this seemingly weak human being found 2 pieces. He re-entered the house with his gear. After a while, the huge furnace appeared again. A few minutes later, the old dwarf came over with the equipment. Shouldn't be there this time. It's gone. Lu Nan took the equipment and smiled. The old dwarf breathed a sigh of relief. As soon as Lu Nan left, his face paled and he said, It's been a long time since I met such a lucky person, my old bones are about to fall apart. Fortunately, it's gone. Let's rest for a few days to recover. The dwarf butcher let out a long breath. The entire dream building corridor disappeared little by little in the mysterious fog. Lu Nan looked at the data panel, and then left the guild's residence without stopping. Yanwang Ancient City, Business District. Buildings rose from the ground one after another, and various professional shops were located on both sides of the street. Soon, Lu found the trading house. Chengsheng Trading Company. It is also the largest trading house in Yanwang Ancient City. There should be enough skill books here. Lu Nan was full of anticipation. The interior of Chengsheng Trading Company, Limited is very spacious and grand, with all kinds of dignified and beautiful people wearing cheongsams walking back and forth. As expected of the 4 top trading houses, the atmosphere is comfortable. Lu Nan immediately fell in love with this arrangement and atmosphere. Most importantly, Miss Cheongsam is pleasing to the eye. Lu Nan's handsome face stood out from the crowd, and in an instant, 2 Cheongsam ladies walked over subconsciously. After realizing that their colleagues were doing the same thing, the 2 not only did not stop, but gave each other a dissuasion eyes. All the way in front of Lu Nan, a young lady who looked taller couldn't bear the pressure, smiled at Lu Nan, turned around and walked in the other direction. Little fool, what are you proud of? Maybe he is a scumbag who lives on his face. The Cheongsam lady secretly took a bite, and even Lu Nan was slandered. However, at this moment, suddenly, Lu Nan showed a badge. Immediately, the people next to him cast envious glances. In the crowd, a large number of women all cast eager eyes. So horny. Lu Nan was taken aback, and quickly followed the waiter into the VIP area. Does your guest want any service? What services are available? Young lady, your words are very ambiguous. The Cheongsam lady had a shy expression, but her good professionalism allowed her to maintain a good posture, but she couldn't help saying, if you don't mind, tonight. Ahem, at this moment, a coughing sound came from outside the door. The Cheongsam lady jumped like a spring, and then immediately stood up straight. Hello, I'm the manager of this trading house. Manager Zhao glanced at the Cheongsam lady indifferently, and then looked at Lu Nan. I want to buy some undead skill books. Is there any stock here? Of course there is. Yesterday we just got a high transfer skill book of the undead system. The Bone Dragon is coming. If you want it, I will go over and get it for you right now. Is there anything else besides these? There are some more, but Lu Nan was too lazy to say so much. He waved his hand and said, I want all the undead skill books. Zhao Guanxi's expression suddenly became a little exciting. I don't know if this is all. Those who can come to the public area must be at least 3 rounds above. Those first and second rank skills must have been learned. Seeing Guanxi Zhao's doubts, Lu Nan smiled and said, I received a collection task, so I want to buy a large number of undead skill books. Understood. Zhao Guanxi suddenly realized, and turned around to make arrangements. This top-level guild membership is really useful. Lu Nan looked at the hidden badge on his body. It was a fire badge, which looked like a spark of fire. Soon, Lu Nan got the skill book from the trading house. This speed is really fast, and it was delivered in less than half an hour. Lu Nan was very satisfied, and bought dozens of disposable flying scrolls for his journey. All spent, but more than 10 billion union currency. As expected of a businessman, Zhao Guanxi gave Lu Nan a 30% discount, and even planned to subtract a few hundred million from Lu Nan, but Lu Nan refused. The discount is different from that kind of deduction. The latter comes with favors. He doesn't want to owe precious favors for these hundreds of millions. I can happily improve again. Looking at the pile of skill books in the space backpack, Lu Nan couldn't help laughing out loud. The only pity is that because this is a public area, the inventory of the lowest level skeleton summoning skill book is actually less than the others. However, even so, it is the largest amount purchased by Lu Nan since his rebirth. With so many skill books, I don't know what stage one can advance to. Epic, or a legend. Lu Nan took out the skill book expectantly, afraid of losing it on the skill bar. Ding, you have learned the skill skeleton summoning, and your skills have been improved. Ding, you have learned the skill skeleton summoning, and your skills have been improved. The skeleton summoning skill book jumps up from 100 to 100. 100,000 levels. Level 110,000. As more and more skill books are invested, the level is also climbing towards a more terrifying level. But the time spent this time was somewhat beyond Lu Nan's imagination. Skill progress meets the conditions, successfully advanced. It took a long time before Lu Nan heard the prompt of skill advancement. Looking at the level of the skeleton summoning, even though his heart has been tempered, he couldn't help being amazed. Skill. Skeleton summoning, level 180,000, consume 1 point of mana to summon 180,000 units of skeleton warriors, epic cooldown time 1 second. Epic level, that is equivalent to an 8th rank job changer. And now, in 1 second, I can summon 180,000 rank 8 powerhouses. It's really against the sky. Lu Nan was so excited that he had the urge to summon the skeleton. Fortunately, he restrained himself while watching the job changers coming and going. Be patient, let's go to the leveling area later, don't worry about no monsters to try. Looking at the space backpack, there are still a large number of skill books in it. What are you still hesitating about? Keep shooting. You have learned the skill Night Funeral, the skill has improved. The current skill level is 5100. You have learned the skill Night Funeral, the skill has improved. The current skill level is 5200. You have learned the skill Night Funeral, the skill has improved. The current skill level is 5300. You have learned the skill Night Funeral, the skill has improved. The current skill level is 15,000. Skill progress meets the conditions, successfully advanced. Continue. You have learned the skill Night Funeral, the skill has improved. The current skill level is 15,100. Several consecutive skill advancement prompts sounded. I can never get tired of listening to that kind of pleasant notification sound. After all, this is the source of his strength. Next, there is the Undead Swamp of the Control Department and the Guardian of the Undead of the Defense Department. It took a full half an hour for him to learn all the skills that can be used so far. Looking at the gorgeous data panel, Lu Nan felt trembling for himself. Too strong. Name: Lu Nan. Title: Necromancer. Level: LV 200, 3 turns. Blood volume: 9.5 million. Mana: 1.65 million. Constitution: 3600. Free attribute points: 0 points. Divinity: 6 points. Combat rating: 6800 stars. Equipment: Ghost of Yumang, Armor of Yumang, Feather of Yumang. Skill: Skeleton Summoning, level 180,000. Consume 1 point of mana to summon 180,000 units of Skeleton Warriors, epic with a cooling time of 1 second. Night Funeral, level 120,000. Consume 1 mana, summon 120,000 units of Skeleton Knights, epic, cooldown time 1 second. Undead Swamp, level 50,000. Consume 1 point of mana to summon a Undead Swamp, endowing enemies with slow, poisoned and other negative states, lasting for 50,000 seconds, cooldown time. Guardian of the Undead, level 40,000. Consume a certain amount of mana to form a chain of undead, binding the body to 40,000 undead creatures. When injured, 100% of the damage will be transferred. Duration: 40,000 minutes. Cooldown: 1 second. Invincible. The first is the substantial increase in attributes, and each of the 4-dimensional items has broken through 2000 attribute points. It is not far from the attributes of the corpse of the evil god. Could it be that my 4-turn body is comparable to the corpse of an evil god? Lu Nan said excitedly. Although he doesn't know the 4-dimensional attributes of the giants, Lu Nan is confident that if he simply compares the attributes, the average giant will never be able to compare with himself. Maybe you have to turn 8 to 9. Still too little is known about the giants. No way, this is the limitation of birth. Epic level skeleton warriors are summoned objects after all, so to some extent, they are not very informative. Take those monsters with tens of millions of blood at every turn, this kind of blood is far beyond the reach of ordinary job changers. Immediately afterwards, Lu Nan looked at the Knight's Funeral. The 120,000 level Night Funeral has also been promoted to the epic level, which is a manifestation of a good innate foundation. Use fewer skills to achieve a stronger class. Seeing the attributes of the Knight, Lu Nan nodded in satisfaction. In the case that Bone Dragon Descending failed to learn, Night Funeral can be said to be the most effective anti-air unit. However, before, because of the level, Lu Nan seldom used the Summon Knight except when he was lazy, but now, the level of the Skeleton Knight has kept up, and it is much more useful. When Lu Nan was immersed in the bad mood of the skyrocketing strength, a piece of news popped out. Anxious Long Wushwang was standing on a street, because he had been waiting for too long, so he couldn't help sending a message to Lu Nan. Boss, can we start now? I almost forgot to bring someone to practice. Lu Nan came back to his senses, opened the map, and searched carefully. After a while, he nodded. This is the place, the map is big enough, and the level of monsters is also very high. Clear the last wave, it should be almost there. Lu Nan didn't want to be a drag on himself by bringing people up. Things that can be done in 10 seconds will never take a second longer. Moreover, there is also a boss refresh point in that place, and it is lit. After making the decision, he sent a message to the patron, and then directly took out a flying roll and tore it open. Although these scrolls are only at the 6-turn level, this thing is a means of increasing the flying force of an alternative. Even a 7-turn giant can use this to increase some speed 0. Brush it. Lu Nan's figure disappeared directly in place. In the air, a burst of sonic booms strung together, attracting the attention of passers-by around. Hiss. This voice, which giant passed by? I saw a young man here just now, and he disappeared after swiping. I didn't expect him to be a giant. Such a young giant, this talent is definitely not low. And it's not an ordinary giant. I've seen giants explode with full force, but their voices aren't that exaggerated. It's awesome. A pair of eyes, showing envy and awe. As expected of an agility close to 3000, this speed is bursting. It didn't take long for Lu Nan to reach his destination. After sending Long Wushwang the location and message, Lu Nan waited with peace of mind. Boss is back to me. Long Wushwang, who was getting more and more anxious, saw the news of Lu Nan, and immediately felt relieved. Isn't she so anxious to find someone to level up because she wants to get back the face she lost today? If the giant who took over the task has something to do and quits today, then he will cry without tears. Fortunately, the news is here. Wait for a while, I'll find a place to practice. Which leveling area will the boss choose? Long Wushwang didn't know that Lu Nan was on his way at this time, and after waiting for a while, he didn't see any news, so he weakly sent a suggestion. Bone Giant, how about we choose Tyrannosaurus Mountains? Long Wushwang wanted to upgrade a long time ago, so he also has his own ideas about the choice of leveling area. The Tyrannosaurus area is an ideal place for leveling. The average level of monsters there is between rank 6 and rank 7, which is just right for a giant. Not too dangerous, not too low level. At the same time, Long Wushwang also had a little bit of careful thinking, and wanted to use this to probe the big guy's bottom and see if it was really whiteheads. However, at this moment, a message from Lu Nan came. No, it doesn't fit there. Inappropriate. Long Wushwang was immediately disappointed. Probably not a giant anymore. Because giants don't say that. Only job changers under the giants will feel that it is not suitable there. You must know that although most of the Tyrannosaurus Mountains are monsters at the rank 6 level, occasionally there will be monsters at the rank 7 level. For the rank 6 professionals, it is not only dangerous, but also not cost-effective. All right, 6 turns, 6 turns. Long Wushwang gritted his teeth and admitted. After all, at this time, there is no good choice. Unexpectedly, the next moment, another message came. You come here. Good. I saw. She rubbed her eyes and looked at the positioning again. Isn't this the Dragon Ant Forest? Long Wushwang was stunned. Dragon Ant Forest is a very special leveling area. The lowest level of monsters is level 4, and the highest level is level 7. However, even the rank 8 giants dare not step into that territory. Because, the monsters inside are piece by piece, and there are too many to count. How dare you, boss? Long Wushwang felt his scalp tingling. She didn't dare to think about turning 9. A giant of this level is also a card in the top guild, and it is impossible to take this low-level leveling task. Not to mention Yanwang, which has been declining day by day. Even the top-ranked Longtang Trade Union has not heard of such a thing for more than 10 years. Since the 9th rank is impossible, it should be the 8th rank. However, she thought about it, but she couldn't figure out who this bone dragon was. At least it should be a giant, maybe it's just covering up the title. Go and see, maybe the boss can do something. Long Wushwang hurried towards the Dragon Ant Forest. Half an hour later, she was less than a kilometer away from the Dragon Ant Forest. Why so long? Lu Nan's news came. Long Wushwang hastily replied. Boss, I'm almost there. I'll form your team. Ding. Guild member Bone Dragon wants to join you in the team, do you accept? Accept. Long Wushwang didn't dare to hesitate, and quickly agreed. Then, she watched Lu Nan's information appear on the team formation interface, and couldn't help but feel a twitch in her heart. See how many turns this boss is. She was full of curiosity. So, she took out a prop that could check the job changer's information. Boss shouldn't mind. While thinking about it, I chose to use it. Then, 380 inches, Long Wushwang was completely numb. 3 turns. The person who made her think that he was a rank 8 boss actually only has the strength of rank 3. And, what the hell is a necromancer? Play me. Suddenly, Long Wushwang's eyes seemed to spew out 2 balls of flames, a pretty ponytail straightened, and his eyes turned red. She swears. Originally, she wouldn't be so irritable at other times, but when she thought of the mocking face of her archenemy, she felt like she was about to explode. You wait, she replied a message to Lunan directly, and then flew towards the agreed place angrily. This person is too long. Forget it, the distance should be almost the same. Lunan saw the display on the teammate interface light up, shook his head, and walked directly into the dragon ant forest. Teammate portraits light up, proving that you have reached the range where you can gain experience. See what an epic undead creature looks like. Come out, my undead army. Huge magic circles appeared on the ground one by one. A strong breath of undead rushed out, and behind the deep magic circle, there seemed to be endless sounds of horseshoes converging into terrifying vibrations. Dragon ant forest. All kinds of dragon ants hidden in the rocks, vegetation, and corners began to become a little restless. Soon, they discovered that the atmosphere of the undead began to permeate around them, and within a very short period of time, the figures of tall skeleton knights slowly emerged one after another. He was dressed in pitch-black full-body armor, with terrifying death fireworks burning in his pupils, and the bones and horses of the undead under his body fused together. The weapon that was emitting green flames in the pitch black was more than 3 meters long. It was originally a giant sword-shaped weapon, but at this moment, some diamond-shaped grooves appeared all over its body, which looked more like a killing bone gun. Countless skeleton knights seemed to have fallen from the sky, and some burning will-o'-the-wisps are constantly beating hundreds of meters away from Fang Yuan. That is a passive range skill derived from the epic skeleton knight. Minus 10,000. Minus 8,000. Before he could make a move, the dragon ants hiding in the nests in the corners were already densely covered with countless injuries. Hoo-hoo. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew up in the entire dragon ant forest. It was the skeleton knights who moved, phantoms intertwined continuously, and the sharp dragon spears pierced through the dragon ants. Minus 1,505. Minus 16,075. You killed an ordinary dragon ant, experience plus 10000. You killed the elite dragon ant, experience plus 12000. You killed the dragon ant guardian, experience plus 450,000. You got the dragon ant spear. You got the vampiric ring. You got the dragon scale grass. You got a complete dragon scale. Dense hints appear on the data panel. Lu Nan kept amazed. Epic level creatures are terrifying, and the normal damage directly soars to more than 1 million. He didn't know if the giant had so much blood, but he definitely didn't have so much under rank 7. What surprised Lu Nan the most was the speed of the skeleton knight. Epic level skeleton knights have much higher 4-dimensional attributes than epic level skeleton warriors, and they also have more skills. Among them is a passive skill called Swift as the Wind. The effect is, when in action, the agility skyrockets by 100%, and the agility attribute has reached an astonishing increase. No wonder it caused such a big momentum. Listening to those whistling sounds, Lu Nan also felt a little outrageous. Perhaps, this is the oppressive feeling of the 8th rank epic level. As he walked, he summoned the skeleton knight. Compared with skeleton warriors, skeleton knights are obviously more suitable for swift combat. The agility attribute of running up to more than 5,000 can crush any enemy standing in front of him. I will ride these skeleton knights to fight the boss later, it will definitely be much faster. Lu Nan's heart lit up. Before finding a suitable riding pet, I can only make do with the skeleton knight. In a blink of an eye, the number of summons reached more than 200 times. More than 20 million epic level skeleton knights are rampaging in the dragon ant forest, hunting down every monster that can be seen in the dragon ant forest. In just a few minutes, the entire dragon ant forest was completely slaughtered. The king of 7-turn dragon ants, who was staying safely in the lair, was swept by dozens of shadows as soon as he appeared, and then the blood flew all over the sky, and his huge body fell directly, and he didn't even survive for 2 seconds. The king of dragon ants, who is famous for his attacks, just hiccups. Waiting will definitely make you look good. Long Wushwang rushed towards the destination angrily, his whole body was like a balloon, ups and downs. It was frightening to watch. She decided that even if she lost face in front of her deadly enemy again today, she would beat up that bone dragon. How unreasonable, dare to accept the mission of this lady in the 3rd rank. And put on a cool look. He also said that he wanted to fight the dragon ant forest. Long Wushwang's eyes were already full of murderous intent. Faster and faster. Suddenly, your teammate kills ordinary dragon ants, your experience plus 10000. This guy actually entered the dragon ant forest. Long Wushwang was slightly taken aback. It's a bit courageous, but it's just an ordinary dragon ant. Ordinary dragon ants only have the strength of 3 ranks, and sometimes there will be some people who go there to touch the tiger whiskers of the dragon ants. However, the next moment, Long Wushwang's small mouth directly opened into an O shape. The little lips trembled, because, in this short second, the notification sound kept swiping the screen at a crazy speed. 0. Your teammate killed the common dragon ant, your experience plus 50000. Your teammate killed the common dragon ant, your experience plus 50000. Your teammate killed the elite dragon ant, your experience plus 15000. Your level has increased. The current level is 206. Your level has increased. The current level is 207. Numb. Long Wushwang was completely numb. Especially at the end, the information floating on the team panel made her blush even more, like a ripe apple. Your teammate killed the Dragon Ant King, your experience plus 100 million. Your level has increased, the current level is 250. This is the full level of 4 turns. Long Wushwang rubbed his eyes, unable to believe all this. Although the most difficult thing for professionals to advance is the task of changing jobs, especially for top guild members like them. Can enter the top guild, who is not a level 5 professional. Coupled with the experience resources of the guild, the upgrade speed will naturally not be bad. But no matter what, it can't be so fast. Numb. This girl has reached the full level without even seeing anyone. And, judging by experience, there is still a little overflow. It's just, that's awesome, boss. This is definitely a rank 9 boss. Long Wushwang said excitedly. She couldn't think of anyone other than rank 9 bosses who could have this ability. Originally, there was still a bit of grievance about joining the declining Yanwang, but now, all that remains is comfort. Suddenly, she remembered something and quickly opened the chat channel. At a glance, I saw a series of question marks from the boss, Bone Dragon. I'm sorry, big brother, I accidentally sent the wrong message. This sentence was sent to my best friend. Long Wushwang immediately defended. As for the girlfriend she mentioned, of course it can only be in LAN. That little troublemaker. Take the blame. Don't forget to help. Absolutely not. Seeing Lu Nan's reply, Long Wushwang hurriedly chose to complete the task. As for the tribute, it will be automatically transferred to Lu. You have completed the upgrade task. You will get 500 points of tribute. The sequence 1 bonus is 100%, and you will get an additional 500 points of tribute. It took a few minutes to get 1000 points of tribute, not bad. Lu Nan received the spell, took out the map, and began to search for nearby bosses. Boss, can I ask you to bring me an upgrade in the future? Long Wushwang anxiously sent a message to Lu Nan. But for a while, there was no reply, and I felt a little lost in my heart. That boss is not mad at me, is he? It's all my fault for not closing the door properly. Long Wushwang wanted to slap himself. That's a rank 9 giant. How could I be so obsessed with thinking about it? At this time, she also wanted to understand that although Yanwang has fallen, it is still the top union that countless people yearn for. The people who can enter here are geniuses who are rare in a million. How could they not know themselves? Randomly choose to upgrade the map. Oh, I can only find an opportunity to apologize to the boss next time. Long Wushwang sighed. Hey, little Loach, I've been waiting so hard. When will you come here to ask for a beating? The message of the deadly enemy just popped out. Long Wushwang frowned. You little troublemaker has a pretty stinky mouth. Wait for Miss Ben to clean you up, and let you know what repairing is. There are still people looking for a beating. Long Wushwang said confidently that he had never heard such a cheap request. Yanwang Ancient City. Arena. A pair of beautiful legs without a trace of fat or crossed and raised, flickering. And Lan leisurely took a bag of melon seeds and ate it, and every time he thought about what happened today, he would smile triumphantly, without caring about his own image at all. However, she and Long Wushwang have the same temper, and they have been half tomboys since they were young, so of course they don't care about these. Even so, the male creatures around would look over from time to time with a hint of admiration in their eyes. Appearance is justice. The same action, when done with ugly looks, is of low quality and disgusting. A good-looking person is a true temperament, with a unique charm. Obviously, and Lan is the latter. She is wearing a battle suit, with obvious lines on her body, and her good figure can be seen at a glance. While nibbling melon seeds, he also sent a provocative message to his rival, Long Wushwang. Now is an advantageous moment. If she doesn't take advantage of the opportunity, it will be a waste of her hard work to come here from the Phoenix 9 Heavens station. Little Loach, Miss Sister, I'm itchy all over now, please beat me up. I was thinking, where should I aim when the fight starts? Tisk tisk, I'm afraid I'll break you. Oh, let me tell you, if you can't do it, you can't do it. Why do you have to be so stubborn? What's wrong with a woman saying no? That's only right and proper. Come on, say something to your mother. -20. And Lan smiled triumphantly, but soon, she found that Long Wushwang on the opposite side hadn't responded to her messages for quite a while. This guy, didn't he really find a giant to lead him to level up? Thinking of this, she also became a little worried, and quickly sent a message to a friend. Sister Li Yan, I want to ask, how many levels can a giant take to level up? After a while, the news came, it depends on how many ranks it is a giant. If it is rank 7, it will reach 4 or 5 levels, if it is rank 8, it should be more than 10 levels. I don't know about rank 9. Steady, Sister Li Yan is a rank 5 professional, and the teacher is a giant, so she can't be wrong. I'm at level 215 at the 4th turn, and I'm about 10 levels higher than that guy. It's been more than half a day today. Even if I find an 8th turn to upgrade, it's impossible to be higher than me. Haha, little Loach, let me see how you fight me. And Lan laughed loudly. Just at this time, Long Wushwang walked in from the door. Come back so soon, are you giving up? And Lan froze for a moment. She thought that Long Wushwang would come back at 12 o'clock, but unexpectedly, this is here. How long has it been? Not even 2 hours. In this little time, let alone a rank 8 giant, even rank the 9th of may not be able to save you. And Lan secretly thought, give up. This girl said she wanted to beat you up, absolutely. What I admire most about you is your stubbornness. Long Wushwang walked towards the arena silently. After a while, suddenly, an exclamation sounded. How could you have such a high level? Aren't you surprised? Are you surprised? I'll make you little Loach. I'll make you fight. I'll make you talk hard. I'll make you not. The sound of bang bang filled the entire arena in an instant. Two people fight with real knives and guns, with minimal physical damage and full spiritual damage. A few minutes later, Long Wushwang looked at An Lan, who was like a pig, and burst out laughing triumphantly. Cool, so cool, unconvinced. This girl will wait for you for a day, and let you chase after me. She looked at Long Wushwang on the ground, hooked her fingers, and the cheap expression on her face was almost the same as that of An Lan before. Woo, Sister Li Yan. What's wrong, An Lan? 9 ranks leads people to practice leveling. Can it take more than an hour to reach the full level of rank 4? How is it possible? Although I don't know the means of rank 9, but judging from the job changers of rank 8, it's not bad to be able to advance to 3 or 5 levels in more than an hour. But, An Lan recalled the level of Long Wushwang he saw just now, and said in disbelief, but, the person I just met, she went from level 205 to 250 in just over an hour. Impossible. Could it be that you misread it? Li Yan shook her head like a rattle at the resident of the Phoenix 9 Heavens Trade Union. About an hour. Too exaggerated. However, An Lan's reply was unusually firm. It's impossible to be wrong. Even if I misread my own level, it's impossible to misread her level. Li Yan was about to deny it when she suddenly remembered the matter of Linshan City. That guy seems to be leveling up pretty fast. You know, Ji Yu Nianzu, who is an S-level hidden profession, has her as a 5th rank job changer and the union's support for newcomers. It was also on the day when the climbing ladder opened, it was almost enough to reach the 3rd rank. But Lu Nan was much earlier than Ji Yu Nianzu. It's a pity, such a talent, and I, Feng Wang Judian, missed it. Looking back, Li Yan still felt a little pity. HMPH, at this time, the president and the others probably came back to their senses. Just thinking about it, suddenly, a message popped up. Xiaoyan, is that Lu Nan who ranks first in the ladder rankings the same Lu Nan you mentioned? It was the news from teacher Mo Yu. Li Yan replied angrily. If there is another person named Lu Nan in that big corner of Linshan City, maybe not. In a secret realm, Mo Yu was stunned after receiving Li Yan's reply. How, isn't it? Probably not. After all, several giants of Phoenix 9 Heavens said one after another. In Yan country, there are many people with the same name and surname. And the name Lu Nan is not an unusual name. Mo Yu rolled his eyes and said angrily, did I not tell you that the Lu Nan that Xiaoyan mentioned before was also from Linshan City? Although she also has a responsibility for refusing Lu Nan to join, but compared to submitting this matter twice by herself, other people's responsibility is undoubtedly greater. Immediately, the faces of many giants in Phoenix Lishan were a little embarrassed. Okay, now that things have come to this point, it's useless to regret any more. Besides, the son of the dragon god is not necessarily worse than Lu Nan. I just feel sorry for that kind of talent. After all, whether it is in Yanwang or our Phoenix 9 Heavens, they are all Yanwang people, and there is nothing to regret. The main reason is that Lu Nan, as Sequence 1, must be the first to bear the brunt. In 1 month, even if his potential is not bad, at most he will grow to be a rank 7 giant. And those void monsters will not be soft on him because of his potential. No way, we can only do our best for this kind of thing. At that time, if we can free up our hands, we will try our best to assign some people to help. Chairman Wang Fengwang sighed. Although the 4 major guilds competed with each other in private and even attacked each other in the past, they have been gradually uniting in the face of an increasingly hostile external environment. People of Yanwang, it has always been like this. However, I'm still a little upset. If we could have agreed to Lu Nan's conditions, we would have surpassed Long Tang and become the number 1 union, and even be promoted to the 10th level union. The famous giant sighed. Wang Fengwang suddenly showed a meaningful smile, and said, don't think about it, compared to us, Long Tang's life is even worse. As soon as these words came out, the depression of all the giants disappeared. Indeed, it's because we made an agreement with the son of the dragon god in advance. It's completely justified to miss Lu Nan. As for Long Tang, he's obviously already a fat meat, but he pushed it away by himself. The funniest thing is that Lu Nan didn't see this piece of fat, but only saw the fly next to the fat. Are you talking about the A-level job changer who was accepted by Long Tang? Hey, don't laugh, everyone is from the Yan Kingdom, so we can't take pleasure in other people's misfortune. Don't worry, we are all professionally trained, we won't laugh. Yes, wahahaha, ah, ha ha ha. The originally somewhat dull environment suddenly burst into laughter one after another. Wang Fengwang, who had been holding back his laughter, also kindly sent a message of condolences to Lu Qiming, the president of the Longtang Trade Union. In the same secret place, but in a different place, seeing the very cryptic condolences, Lu Qiming's face was pulled down. President, what's wrong? The leader of the Longtang Trade Union next to him couldn't help asking when he saw his president's complexion suddenly turned bad. Nothing, Lu Qiming said lightly. He didn't want to mention this kind of embarrassing thing to others, even the giants of his union. It's numb, the people below, are their eyesight so bad? Such a good person, Phoenix 9 Heavens can see it accurately. If it is not because of the son of the dragon god, he will definitely be able to get his hands on it. And what about my side? 2 members are not as good as 1 member. After signing the contract, it can be refunded. Even though a day had passed, Lu Qiming still couldn't let go. I really want to go over and give those 2 idiots a kick. However, he is the president of a top-level guild, so he must have a bearing. By the way, in the future, any member who joins the club will have to step up the scrutiny. If you sign a contract, you can't cancel the contract. Lu Qiming said suddenly. The giant understood it all at once. but they are all human beings, and they also know that it is not appropriate to talk about the old things at this time, and they can only pretend to be stupid and ignore the past. How is the progress of your land reclamation? Long Tang sent a message to Feng Wang Judian. Barely smooth, this ancient ruin suddenly appeared. I don't know what will happen next. Feng Wang said seriously. The 4 presidents of them have a chat channel. After chatting briefly, the 4 of them gathered together in the chat channel of the president to exchange progress. The public area is vast, and there are many secret and dangerous places. As strong as rank 9, I dare not say that I know all the positions clearly. And this secret land was discovered only recently. For this kind of area that has not been opened up, it must be explored with all its strength in order to obtain first-hand resources. Be careful, just now, some job changers of Sakura appeared here. They also came into this secret realm. Zhang Ming, the president of the Wolf Pack Union, sent a message to remind him. I have also encountered traces of people from other countries here, from the Simi country. The president of the Yanwang Trade Union also sent a message. It seems that this secret realm is a public secret realm. Oh, that's a little troublesome. The 4 presidents were both surprised and delighted. Surprisingly, some top props are most likely to exist in the public secret realm, but because there is no limit to the number of people and strength, many people can come in. In this case, the competitiveness will be much stronger. It's okay if it's only in the surrounding areas. After all, the Yan Kingdom is a relatively powerful country in the vicinity, but if the entrance range is larger, if these countries can enter, such as the Eagle Sauce country and the North Bear country, then the situation is really serious. It's not optimistic at all. Now is not the time to think about this. The top priority is to find possible prop locations as soon as possible. The faster we progress, the more resources we will get. Zhang Ming returned. President Zhang Ming said yes. Everyone, work harder. If we can get the props before other countries discover them, we will have won a complete victory. The Big 4 have worked hard to open up Wasteland. This huge public secret realm is huge, and it is filled with many kinds of high-speed monsters. 7-turn grimacing dryad, 6-turn striped giant tiger, 7-turn 16-legged centipede. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Occasionally, you can encounter some 8-rotation epic monsters. Rao, even the giants who are at least rank 7 here don't dare to be careless in the slightest. And when many giants of the Yan Kingdom were buried in land reclamation, at the far other end, a group of job changers with blonde hair and strong breath were doing the same thing. However, compared to the seriousness of the giants of the Yan Kingdom, different, these people are talking and laughing, like a spring outing. Even so, their speed of land reclamation is not slow, even faster than the giants of the Yan Kingdom who are doing their best to land reclamation. At this moment, in front of the team, on top of a huge red giant, several giants of the Ross family are looking at a huge mirror in front of them. Inside is the scene of the giants of the Yan Kingdom reclaiming Wasteland. The mirror is surrounded by mysterious divine lines, the whole looks like a giant eye, and the mirror surface is the pupil. This is the inherited prop of the Ross family, the Eye of the Sky, which can see any scene exposed to the sky within the area. The progress of the Yan Kingdom is a bit too fast. Find a way to prevent them from approaching the sky arena. A Ross family tycoon said calmly. The distance is too far away. Our goal is the sky arena. If we send someone there, it will greatly delay our progress. Let Sakura go. Be a dog for us, and you must be mentally prepared to be a dog. Secondary. Sakura's strength is still good. Let them stop the giants of Yan Kingdom, so that we can have enough time and energy to attack the Waikong arena. Seconded. Soon, a magnate of the Ross family sent the news. Another direction. The president of the Condor Union is leading a group of giants to work hard to open up Wasteland. Suddenly, a message popped up. Who sent me a message at this time? The president of the Condor Eagle Union was a little displeased, but when he saw that the person who sent the message was from the Ross family, he bent down unconsciously. Dear Ross family envoy, do you have any instructions? The sudden change of attitude of the president of the trade union surprised the other giants, but when they heard that it was the special envoy of the Ross family, they immediately showed a hint of composure. Then it's no surprise. Hi. After a few short sentences, the president of the Condor Eagle Union turned off the chat channel, and his unruly look returned to his face. Let's change direction and go from here, and we will meet the trade union of Yan Kingdom one day at the latest. At that time, we will lay an ambush in advance and wipe them out. A group of cherry blossom giants are constantly counting together, which is extremely sinister. Soon, a relatively perfect ambush plan was released. The chance of success in ambushing a group of giants is very small, but as long as they can kill 2 or 3 giants in Yan Kingdom, it will be a huge achievement. After all, it is really difficult for a giant to die, and many giants will have some life-saving props on them more or less. By the way, how are things going with Lufeng and the Dark Temple outside? At this time, Shenying, the president of the Condor Eagle Union, asked He Lang beside him. I just asked, and the arrangement is almost the same. Tomorrow at the latest, the sacrificial ceremony can start and open the channel of the crack in the plain. Okay, Shenying looked excited. I'm really looking forward to it. To use Dengguo's words, the right time and place are all up to me. After our ambush tomorrow, if those tycoons of the Yan Kingdom who escaped know what is happening in the public area, Yan Kingdom controls the area, and there are countless undead raging, what kind of posture will it be? Even if the Yan Kingdom can survive this time, their strength will be greatly damaged, and when the void monsters descend 1 month later, what will they have to resist? Didn't we get a piece of Union War qualification? If we start the Union War when the undead are raging, then Yan Kingdom is over. Ha ha ha, great idea. A group of hardened giants laughed triumphantly. Yan country attaches great importance to this public secret place, and almost most of the giants gather here. In this way, the rear is empty, and they can advance and retreat freely. Dragon Ant Forest Leveling Area. Lu Nan stood on the dead land, looking at the pile of items in the backpack with satisfaction. Soon, he saw what he wanted most, the omnipotent crystal. And, not 1, but 2. It seems that it is because the dragon ants are more difficult to kill. Lu Nan was very happy. High difficulty. It made no difference to him. Tens of millions of 8-turn epic level skeleton knights are crushed directly, and any 7-turn and 8-turn will ascend to heaven. There are also many props, equipment, and skill books of other grades. The highest quality is king level, but today's Lu Nan doesn't like it at all, so he just throws it into the space backpack to eat ashes, and he will deal with it later when he has time. In terms of skill books, there are many other professions, and there is no one in the undead department. Things like skill books still depend on the attributes of monsters. It is generally difficult for melee monsters to drop legal skill books, and similarly, it is also difficult for legal monsters to drop melee ones. To some extent, Dragon Ant is also a melee monster. Besides, there was one other thing that caught his attention. Void Flickering. Void Flickering. Consume a huge amount of mana to perform a void jump. The jumping distance is limited to the job changer's field of vision. Lu Nan took a look and found that there are many books on void flickering skills, at least thousands of them, which should be regarded as a must-have drop in the Dragon Ant Forest. Moreover, this skill is a bit special and has no occupational restrictions. In other words, he, the Necromancer, can also learn it. Temporarily putting it in the backpack, Lu Nan turned over and jumped onto the skeleton horse beside him. After being promoted to the epic level, the skeleton knight became more and more handsome, and every place was based on Lu Nan's aesthetics. The only pity is that the skeleton man and the bone horse on the bone horse are integrated into one. It is already impossible for him to ride a bone horse alone. Opening the monster atlas, Lu Nan continued to select the next boss refresh point. That's it. At this moment, he has already planned the route. First kill the bosses in the scattered areas nearby, and then enter the area controlled by the Sakura Kingdom. There are more bosses there, and the distance is a little closer. At that time, he can summon the Skeleton Knight unscrupulously. Clean up all bosses. This is the shortest time plan. Set off. The billowing aura of undead permeated the air, and tens of millions of skeleton knights turned into black shadows, passing through various training areas. All the monsters along the way, all without a single enemy, all became the nourishment of Lu Nan. Occasionally, I met some Yan Kingdom job changers who formed a team to practice, but those people only felt a group of black shadows passing by, and then there was nothing else. What is that? Did you see it just now? No. Are you dazzled? No, I seem to really see something flying by. I heard the wind, but I didn't see the shadow. Are you crazy from fighting monsters? Keep going. How can you upgrade and earn money to find a wife if you don't work hard? You have been single for so many years. Do you still want to be single? Don't talk about it, we are still good teammates. A group of Yan Kingdom job changers cursed and continued to devote themselves to the great cause of leveling. However, when they set off as a whole team and went deep into the leveling area, they found that there was not even a hair of the monster in the huge leveling area. Are you kidding me? Where's the monster? That's right. Where are the monsters? Are they all going home to sleep? Look at the job changers one by one. I looked at you, looked at each other, and finally had no choice but to choose to go to another leveling area to practice. Their strength is the strongest at rank 4, and Lunan's skeleton summoner has become more obscure after many promotions. Only those who are close to are stronger in strength. In order to detect the strong and terrifying undead breath in the air. Of course, Lunan can also let the breath of the undead be revealed intuitively like the legendary villain, but obviously, with his cautious style, he will not do such a thing. After half a day, Lunan finally cleared the planned boss. Go back and have a rest. Tomorrow morning, leave for the Sakura country. Lunan secretly thought. At the same time, in the valley of the previous experience area, a group of job changers from the Sakura Kingdom and the Dark Temple are secretly setting up a sacrificial altar. Hurry up, hurry up, Priest Luo and Lu Feng kept urging. Seeing that the altar was becoming more and more perfect, the two unconsciously showed a relaxed smile. Tomorrow morning, we can start the investigation. At that time, the undead plane will open, and countless undead will descend. Yan Kingdom will fall into endless undead natural disasters. I can't wait. Me too. Ha ha ha. Chatter chatter. Did you notice it? Suddenly, Priest Luo frowned and looked into the distance. What a strong undead breath. Go and see. The arrangement of the altar has already entered the normal stage. As long as there are no accidents, there will definitely be no problems. So the two rushed towards the perceived position with confidence. That location should be the Demon Opera House. The Devil Opera House is an open secret realm. The core area is a theater-like building full of monsters. As time went by, the two got closer and closer. The face is also getting more and more excited. The aura of undead here is so strong. You see, the aura of undead flowing in the air is almost like water. I really don't know how terrifying the undead appearing here are. At least 8 or 9 revolutions. Speaking of this, the two of them already showed a trace of vigilance. There should be a crack in the plane in this area. However, the crack in the plane is not stable, so after the breath of the undead escapes, it disappears. Priest Luo said. Lu Feng was a little worried that the rift would go to the area controlled by the Sakura Kingdom, and said, "You mean, this plane rift may appear in other places?" It's hard to say. However, it also depends on the trend. Priest Luo said lightly. He followed the extension direction of the undead breath. After a while, he said with a smile, the direction of this undead breath spread is completely opposite to the direction of the control area of Sakura Kingdom, so it is impossible for plane cracks to appear in the area of Sakura Kingdom. Lu Feng suddenly showed a smile on his face, but he was still a little puzzled. How can we be sure that it is a crack in the undead plane, not an undead creature? Undead creatures may also leave undead breath. Although they are both giant-level figures, Priest Luo obviously knows a lot about cracks in the plane. I heard that the real location of the Dark Temple is in the secret realm of the plane. Do you know if it is true or not? First of all, this undead breath covers a wide area. It is simply not something that 1 or 2 undead creatures can do. Secondly, the quality of this breath. I have also done some research on the plane of the undead. As far as I know, this high-quality breath of the undead can only be found in the plane of the undead. No one understands the plane of the undead better than me. Priest Luo said proudly. Although he is not an undead professional, he is definitely a job changer who has the most in-depth research on the undead plane. Lu Feng also laughed. Does that mean that our sacrifice will be more successful? Of course. For the sacrificial circle, the closer the breath of the undead here is to the breath of the plane of the undead, the easier it is to open the cracks in the plane. As far as the current situation is concerned, 90% of Yandong can't escape here. Let's go back. Just wait until dawn. Lu Nan walked on the streets of Yanwang Ancient City, sorting out the harvest of this boss hunt. He led tens of millions of epic-level skeleton knights to rampage in various training areas. Although the explosion rate is very low, when the base number reaches a terrifying number, the harvest is also very terrifying. The props and equipment below the epic level could no longer attract his attention, so he just glanced at them and put them aside. There are more than 10 pieces of epic equipment. Lu Nan replaced other scattered parts on his body. The combat power has increased by more than 10 stars. It's getting harder and harder to improve your combat power. Lu Nan sighed with emotion. Back then, a piece of diamond level equipment could increase the combat power of more than 100 stars. Now, with several pieces of epic level equipment, it can only increase more than 10 stars. This is the huge difference in rank. With his combat strength of 6 or 7,000 stars, it is very difficult to increase it by a little bit. In addition to equipment, there are 5 universal crystals, and thousands of void flickering skill books. Now, in his backpack, there are nearly 3,000 void flashing skill books. Lu Nan felt at ease. The drop rate of this skill book is not bad, which proves that it is not that kind of rare skill. You can go to the trading shop to collect a wave. Forget it, there are other things to do today, another day. The skills are not needed for the time being, and he will not fly away, so Lu Nan is not in a hurry, walking towards the huge square in the middle of Yanwang Ancient City. Soon, he came under the huge guardian hip statue. It's such a big statue, I don't know what it's for. Kai. Lu Nan stood at the bottom and looked up. The guardian statue is like a mountain. This is the patron saint of our Yanwang Ancient City, said a job changer on the side. Patronus, are you guarded by this statue? With scary. HMPH, the reason why Yanwang Ancient City is safe and sound is because of the existence of the guardian statue. Once foreign enemies invade, the guardian statue will activate and kill all foreign enemies. The job changer said proudly. Still have this ability. Lu Nan looked at the huge statue and was immediately in awe. Regardless of whether it is a living thing or a dead thing, being able to protect the tranquility of a city is obviously of boundless merit. Walking to a sacred stone under the statue, Lu Nan put his hand on the sacred stone. The next moment, a store panel appeared in front of my eyes. Meritorious store. Looking at the items in the store, a hint of surprise appeared in Lu Nan's eyes. There are not many items, and the degree of preciousness is average, but they are extremely practical. Especially for him, perhaps, it is more precious than a divine weapon. Because, almost all the items in the store are skill books. However, this skill book is different from ordinary skill books, and there are 2 extra words in front. Heroic Spirits. Heroic Spirits skill book. Needless to say, this skill book is not for the job changer himself, but for the heroic spirit. Lu Nan looked at the items on the first shelf of the store. Heroic Spirit. Heroic Spirit. The soul condensed with the will left after the death of the hero. After carrying it, you can get the attribute bonus of the heroic spirit. Reminder. The level of the heroic spirit increases with the level of the national tribute, and the bonus effect increases accordingly. Required for exchange. 1000 national tribute. Do you want to exchange for a heroic spirit? Please note that each person can only carry 1 heroic spirit. Once carried, it cannot be replaced. Yes, Lu Nan didn't hesitate. Anyone who reaches the 1-star national tribute level can be exchanged for a very ordinary heroic spirit at the guardian statue. No matter how powerful a person is, when he first obtains a heroic spirit, he is just a blank board, without any difference. The only difference is that the appearance and dress of each heroic spirit are different. Following Lu Nan's response, a beam of light shot out from the huge guardian statue and sank into his body. You are carrying a heroic spirit. Activate the heroic spirit information panel. Looking at the data panel, at the bottom, there is an extra heroic interface. Ordinary heroic spirit. Gender, female. Rating, 1 star. Life, 1 million. Mana, 100,000. Constitution, 500. 500. Agility, 500. Stamina, 500. Bonus effect. Life plus 1%. Mana plus 1%. 4-dimensional attribute plus 1%. Lu Nan suddenly looked back, and saw a phantom figure with a beautiful appearance floating behind him blankly. At the same time, he seemed to hear a long sigh coming from an unknown place. Brother, did you hear the sigh? Lu Nan looked at the heroic spirit, and then at the job changer who reminded him just now. Sighing. It's normal, every job changer who exchanges heroic spirits will hear it. Some people say that it is the sigh of heroic spirits, said the job changer. Little brother, look at your tender face, you should be a newcomer who just came to the public area. Well, not long ago, a profession that just awakened. Not bad. The job changer was surprised. Just after changing jobs, there is a national tribute to be exchanged for heroic spirits, it's okay. National tribute, that is to kill many job changers from hostile countries. However, this heroic spirit is not very useful. Ascension to the stars is too difficult. I have been here for almost 30 years, and I have only upgraded to a 3-star. The bonus is only 3%. That attribute is quite in a piece of ordinary equipment. Really, Lu Nan looked at the bonus attributes of heroic spirits. 1-star heroic spirit only adds 10,000 to life, and 1,000 to mana, and the 4-dimensional attributes are even more pitiful, only single digits. It can be seen that upgrading to Samsung will not make much difference. It was the name that caught Lu Nan's attention. Ordinary spirits. Are there any unusual ones? Lu Nan asked. What is ordinary and not ordinary? Everyone is the same. However, I heard that the name will change after reaching a certain level, but we have never heard of this kind of saying, but it is in the Eagle Sauce country. Who knows the truth? You'll know when you raise your star rating. Lu Nan said. How can it be so good? Lu Nan glanced at the back. The beautiful figure of the heroic spirit looked a little blurry, but the graceful figure and the vague outline all exuded the charm of super high value. Although it's only illusory, it's still eye-catching. After researching it, I found that this is the revealed state of the heroic spirit, and it can actually be put away. Lu Nan didn't observe these anymore, his eyes fell on other items in the store. In addition to the heroic spirit, there are several grids, all of which are all heroic spirit skill books. Heroic Spirit Life Enhancement Skill Book, Heroic Spirit's Life Bonus plus 1%, and the learning success rate will decrease as the level increases. 100 points of national tribute are required for exchange. Heroic Spirit Mana Enhancement Skill Book, Heroic Spirit's Mana Bonus plus 1%, and the success rate of learning will decrease with the level up, and the 100 points of national tribute required for exchange will be reduced. Heroic Spirit Strength Enhancement Skill Book, Heroic Spirit's Strength Bonus plus 1%, and the learning success rate will decrease as the level increases. 100 national tribute points are required for exchange. Plus in all aspects, from life, mana, to 4-dimensional attributes. Heroic spirits do not have combat power, but are only used as a piece of equipment that can be cultivated. It's a pity that you have such a good figure. Lu Nan was full of pity in his heart. I took a look, and there are thousands of national tributes on my body, all of which are used to exchange for the skill book of heroic spirit and law. There are 30 books in total. I don't know how many levels can be upgraded. Lu Nan opened the heroic spirit interface, looked for the skill grid. Because it is a 1-star level, only one skill grid is empty. Would you like to learn the skill book of heroic spirit and law? Study. Ding. Your heroic spirit has successfully learned the bonus of heroic spirit and mana, and the extra mana will be increased by 1%. Continue. Ding. Your heroic spirit has successfully learned the heroic spirit and mana bonus, and the mana bonus is 1% extra, and the current bonus is 2%. Ding. Your heroic spirit has failed to learn, and the current bonus is 2%. Ding. Your heroic spirit study failed, the current bonus is 2%. Ding. Your heroic spirit has successfully learned the bonus of heroic spirit and mana, and the mana bonus is 1% extra, and the current bonus is 3%. I go. It was only at this time that Lu Nan realized that after the heroic spirit skill book, the concept of the success rate seemed a little familiar. The famous pig farm game in the previous life, isn't it like this? He felt something was wrong. Heavenly spirits, earthly spirits, and non-chieftains retreat. Ding. Your heroic spirit has failed to learn, and the current bonus is 3%. Ding. Your heroic spirit has failed to learn, the current bonus is 3%. I don't know if it's because the level has been improved, or because I'm really a non-chief, and after a dozen books in a row, it's a reminder of failure. Lu Nan, who has always been invincible, felt the demons of the world for the first time. There are more than 10 books. Looking at the heroic spirit's skill book in his backpack, he also felt that this heroic spirit was really here to develop his mentality, but fortunately, he didn't fail once or drop a level, otherwise, he would really be stuck. Forget it, try a few more books, if it doesn't work, try again another day. He only got this national tribute by destroying a high-level cherry blossom group, and now more than half of it is in vain. Etc. Just when he was about to continue to try, he suddenly remembered something, and took out a god-level item from the space backpack, the Heart of Time. I haven't looked at it for 2 or 3 days, and the glass bottle of the Heart of Time is almost full of the power of time. I don't know if it's useful or not. Lu Nan grasped the Heart of Time, secretly said, use it. The next moment, a large number of lines suddenly appeared in front of his eyes, and as he thought about it, all the lines disappeared instantly, leaving only a thin line. Move forward by 1 second. The timeline trembled violently, and then, Lu Nan seemed to see a scene. Ding! Your heroic spirit has failed to learn, and the current bonus is 3%. Failed again. Quickly break away from the timeline feedback screen. The power of time in the glass bottle is a little less, but it is not obvious. Lu Nan continued to try. Fail, fail, fail. After trying for the 8th time, finally, on the screen 1 second later, I saw the system prompt. Then, he immediately broke away and learned the skills he had prepared. Ding! Your heroic spirit has successfully learned the heroic spirit and mana bonus, and the mana bonus is an additional 1%, and the current bonus is 4%. Comfortable. Lu Nan laughed. After a while, all the skill books of the heroic spirits were used up. Although he did not continue to succeed, Lu Nan was not depressed at all. With the god-level item Heart of Time, sooner or later, heroic spirit can grow into a super artifact. If there is a chance tomorrow, I will go to earn more national tribute. Lu Nan said heartily. Wait and see for now, don't meet the giant of Sakura, it will be troublesome. Lu Nan, who doesn't know the true strength of the 89 giants, still has some scruples about them. Another point is that I don't know if there are more terrifying existences after the cherry blossoms turn 9. The world is so big, I can't love my god. Returning to the guild's resident, he took a nap in the dormitory arranged in the resident. The next day, Lu Nan left Yanwang Ancient City early in the morning, tore off a flying scroll, and headed towards the area controlled by Sakura at full speed. Boom! A violent sonic boom exploded all the way and went away. Not long after, it disappeared in a leveling area controlled by the Sakura Kingdom. At the same time, the altar that Lu Feng, Priest Luo and others had been looking forward to was finally built. It was a huge altar, built with a lot of precious undead materials. The cheapest materials are worth billions of alliance coins. The value is so high that it cannot be estimated. Rao Lufeng had been mentally prepared for a long time, and at this moment, he also felt a little distressed. But, as long as it can greatly damage Yan country's strength, it's totally worth it. Okay, let's start. Now even if the giants of Yan Kingdom know the news and rush over, they can't stop the birth of the crack in the plain. Priest Luo proudly said. Lu Feng, who was filled with joy in an instant, couldn't help posting an extremely arrogant message on the regional channel, which immediately caused shocks from countless people. Lu Feng, the garbage of Yan Kingdom, get ready to receive the great gift we have prepared. In the past, even if he did such a thing, Lu Feng would not dare to show up directly to seize evidence for the people of Yan Kingdom. However, today is different. Sakura country has already decided to attack Yan country, just waiting for a good opportunity to appear. It was originally set on the day when the void monsters would come, but now, with such a good opportunity, who would refuse to realize their ambition earlier? So, no, just do it. Even, he didn't feel satisfied, and directly exposed more things. Aren't you ignorant? Just be ignorant. We are about to open a passage to the plane of the undead in this position. At that time, the real natural disaster of the undead will come completely. Fear, tremble, ha ha ha. Luo Li, a member of the Dark Temple, intends to testify for the words of the giant Lu Feng. Luo Li was not to be outdone. The people in the Dark Temple have a kind of stubbornness and madness in their bones, and what they like to see most is panic and helplessness. So, it's no surprise that a handful of fuel is added to the fire of destruction that is about to burn. The gift is about to arrive. Let us cheer for darkness and destruction. Chapter 101. After sending out the news, the two also began to sacrifice, and a large amount of collected blood essence was sent to the altar. Those blood essences were processed by special secret methods, and they twisted and pulled crazily on the altar with a breath between the living and the dead. A trace of obscure and mysterious atmosphere permeates, as if there is a pair of huge eyes, through the space film, constantly observing the land. The will of the undead plane is looking for a suitable medium, and then uses the altar to tear open the passage to reality. Luo Li's face was a little smug and crazy. This altar is the result of our Dark Temple's research for many years. I used it this time. If I want to use it next time, it will take decades to prepare. What a great feat. Lu Feng laughed loudly. Look, the Eye of Will in the plane of the undead is looking for a suitable position. The position with the strongest breath of undead is the position where it locked last. No, how did it leave? At this time, the smile on Lu Feng's face froze. In the void above the altar, the huge blurred Eye of Will suddenly left the valley after observing for a while. Don't panic. It should have judged that there is a more suitable location to tear the space barrier. Do you still remember what we saw last night? Lu Feng nodded immediately. So that's how it is. Looking at it, sure enough, the direction in which the giant eyes drifted seems to be the direction of Yanwang Ancient City. God help us indeed. The two laughed. Then, after a few seconds, the laughter of the two slowly disappeared. I seem to see the 380 Eye of Will in the plane of the undead turned in a different direction. Lu Feng rubbed his eyes, his voice trembling unconsciously. Impossible. In this area, there is absolutely no aura of undead anywhere, stronger than the aura of undead around Yanwang Ancient City. Luo Li shook his head. Then, he also looked at the past intently, and the next moment. I am Sao. The huge Eye of Will actually changed its direction little by little, heading towards the area controlled by Sakura Kingdom. That direction is the area controlled by our Cherry Blossom Kingdom. Lu Feng shouted, Stop it. Stop it quickly, can it pass or can't let it pass? A group of people frantically chased after the Eye of Will. Regional channels. The speeches of Lu Feng and Luo Li set off a huge wave. The job changer from Sakura Country instantly cheered up. I am Sao. Lu Feng, isn't this the giant who defected from Yan Kingdom and joined our Sakura Kingdom? What betrayed the country of Yan? Pay attention to what the above said. The giant Lu Feng was originally one of our people, but he just stayed in the country of Yan for a while. That's right. How could a lowly creature like Yan Guo cultivate such a talent as Lu Feng? Applause for giant Lu Feng. If we had an elite like giant Lu Feng earlier, how could those wastes of Yan Kingdom occupy our place? Yes, yes. Does Lu Feng lack love? I can. Compared with the pride and arrogance of the job changers in the Sakura country, the job changers in the Yan country are angry and desperate. Luo Li popularized the opening of the space rift in the area, that is to say, once the altar means arranged by the Dark Temple is opened, it is completely impossible to stop it. Lu Feng, I swear, I will kill you. Traitor, how did Yan Kingdom offend you? If you rebel, just rebel. Why do you want to kill Dangguo? I love you XXX. It's been confirmed now that it's the people from the Sakura Kingdom who are doing the tricks. They are ambitious. What are we waiting for? Let's play tricks with them. Come on. We are afraid of you trash. If it weren't for the guardian statue, you would have survived until now. Cubs. On the regional channels, there was chaos. There are all kinds of people. It can be said that only at the last moment can we understand whether a person is good or bad. What a big handwriting. In the valley, suddenly, a magic circle appeared, and an old figure stepped out of it, looking at the huge altar in operation. His face was icy cold. Old Lu. After a while, several giants also appeared here, looking at the altar, all showing anger. Many of these giants are giants of other high-level trade unions, all of them are 7 rank, and none of 8 rank. Because the rank 8 giants have already followed the giants of the 4 major trade unions to the Qinggalan Mountains to open up wasteland. They are just leftovers in the Union resident. And Lu Lao, who is an older generation, is also at the rank 9 level, so he naturally became the core in an instant. Is there really no way to stop this altar? A tycoon from the trade union across the world looked at the altar and said coldly. No way. Once the space crack is opened, it cannot be reversed. We can only wait for the space to subside automatically. Of course, there may be, but it is definitely not how we can do it. Then what should I do? Sakura. All the giants were filled with righteous indignation and looked to hide. The natural disaster of the undead is unavoidable. You should quickly go back and arrange for the young transferees to return to the country. Hiding. Then let's forget about this tone. A giant with a thick back said angrily. Old Zhang, we listened to Lu Lao, and now we have to go back and arrange for people from our respective trade unions to leave. There are barriers blocking the national border. Even if it is an army of undead, it is impossible to break in. Yes. The giant Zhang suppressed his anger, turned his head and flew away. It's no wonder that Yanwang has fallen, and he has no courage at all. On the way back, he poured bitterness on the other giants. The tempers of the other giants were obviously not so hot, but they were also silent. However, at this moment, a giant suddenly froze for a moment and said, "You guys watch World Channel." Everyone quickly turned on the World Channel. I saw a piece of news slowly emerge. The World Channel is a channel that few people use, because it takes nearly 100 billion alliance coins to speak. As strong as the top union, it is impossible to waste so much money sending messages on it. However, at this moment, a voice floated over the originally empty channel. If you offend Yanwang, you will be punished with blood. In an instant, all the channels seemed to be silent, only the faint old voice was telling a fact forcefully. Public secrets. Ying Zhang and other giants looked at the voice on the channel without the slightest concern on their faces. It seems that Sakura has done something great to anger our old friend. Zizi, good daughter-in-law, let's take a look at the giant saint. This old friend Lu Zhen is still here. I thought he was dead. But looking at it like this, he won't live long. Sakura is not the kind of small country with no strength at all. Unfortunately, the eyes of the sky of the Ross family can't see the scene over there, otherwise, we can watch a good show. Many giants in Yingjiang country laughed, still slowly clearing the monsters in front of him. Okay, Sakura and Yan Kingdom are in conflict, just right, we can conquer this sky arena with confidence. The voice of Ross Taze, the patriarch of the Ross family, came over. Many giants put away their smiles, and the movements of their hands sped up a little, but it was only a little bit. Beixiang country, Simi country, Baixiang country, etc., the top powerhouses of a group of countries looked at the information above with different expressions. Apparently, this powerful man of the Yan Kingdom, who was once in the limelight, already has a will to die. While this made them feel very surprised, they also had different thoughts. Yan Guo is much stronger than Sakura. Now, Sakura dares to attack Yan Guo, she must have a lot of confidence. Yan Guo is about to end. This matter must have the shadow of the Eagle Sauce Nation. Perhaps, we can participate in it and divide up the resources of the Yan Nation. Hurry up and take people out of the secret realm, and prepare well. This time, Yan Kingdom should withdraw from the competition in the public area. Axie. The area of Yan Kingdom is the original land of our Simi Kingdom, so we should let us control it. The countries in the surrounding areas of Yan Kingdom became excited one by one, and they didn't even care about the land reclamation of the secret land. They took people away, planning to wait for Yan Kingdom to fail and retreat to the border, and then swarmed up to carve up the vacated resource area. It's old Lu. What's going on? On the other side, the giant teams led by the 4 major trade unions of Yan Kingdom also saw the news on the World Channel, and their faces changed drastically. Something must have happened. The presidents of the 4 major trade unions have used special means to contact outsiders. Point 0. Under normal circumstances, in the secret realm, it is impossible to contact the outside world. However, as the leader of the 9th level guild, it happens to have this authority. After a while, everyone knew the cause of the incident, and suddenly, a murderous intent appeared in their eyes. Everyone go back, this time we must make the job changers of Sakuraka look good. Kill. Many giants shouted angrily. In recent years, the alliance of nations headed by Yingjiang has risen rapidly, and has carried out a series of suppressions against the Yan Kingdom. In order to maintain the development trend, the Yan Kingdom has been cautiously dealing with the nations. Many giants have long held back their stomachs. Now, Sakura is taking the lead in making the fire. No matter what, she will definitely fight back. However, at this moment, a large number of power fluctuations suddenly appeared in the sky above the area. It was Sakura's giants who arrived. Everyone, it's rare for everyone to come across one. Why don't you have a good discussion and see how to deal with this matter? Shinying, the president of the Shinying Trade Union, looked proudly at the giants of the Yan Kingdom in front of him, feeling a little pity in his heart. Originally planning to ambush, unexpectedly, many giants of Yan Kingdom stopped because they found Lu Lao speaking on the World Channel. Life is full of surprises. If Lu Lao hadn't sent out a message to the world, many giants in Yan Kingdom would not have stopped. Naturally, they will step into the ambush circle set by the cherry blossom giants. Facing a bunch of giant attacks, it is not impossible to die 3 or 5 rank 7 giants. The hypocritical words made the giants of Yan Kingdom feel disgusted. They want to delay time. Everyone, let's release the big moves we are good at. Several top giants such as Wang Fengwang and Lu Qiming shouted angrily. In an instant, the terrifying aura surged towards all directions like an overwhelming mountain. The giants of Sakura suddenly became nervous. One must know that the overall strength of Yan Kingdom's giants is much stronger than that of Sakura. Facing the furious attacks of the giants of the Yan Kingdom, they were really under a lot of pressure. Don't worry, everyone, as long as we hold on for a while, the giants of Simi Kingdom will come to support. I just reached an agreement with Simi Kingdom. Everyone gritted their teeth to support themselves. As long as you survive this short period of time, then, in the future, Sakura will be the real overlord in the surrounding areas of Yan Kingdom. At the same time, in that valley, after sending the message, Elder Lu slowly straightened his back bent by the years, and finally, like a towering pine, he flew towards the area of Sakura country. In my mind, I think back to the beginning, when the game came to reality, and the backs of countless predecessors who created a prosperous age for the Yan Kingdom, a tragic pride soared into the sky. The sound wave of the explosion directly penetrates the space, forming a twisted element channel high in the sky. At this moment, tens of millions of job changers from Yan Kingdom raised their heads one after another, looking at the elemental passageway that was constantly spreading high in the sky, their eyes filled with tears. Old Lu, let's go. Old Lu, let's go. Old Lu, let's go. I don't know who it is, and suddenly roared out, so the entire regional channel was swiped. No one thought that Mr. Lu could come back alive. Since Sakura Kingdom has arranged such a plan, it will definitely prevent Yan Kingdom's angry counterattack. Now in the past, it is undoubtedly to drill into other people's traps. Of course Lu Lao knew this too. But he also knew that at this time, someone had to stand up, and he had to show courage and momentum. Otherwise, people's hearts will be unstable, and it will be a spiritual blow to Yan country. Thinking of this, he was so emotional that he yelled angrily, "Today, let my old bones prop up a new sky for Yan Kingdom." Sky. Yo-Yo's voice suddenly stopped. In the end, there are only 2 classic words left. I am Sao. Downstairs, countless Yan Kingdom transferees were collectively stunned. I Sao, Mr. Lu, what you said is wrong. Properly prop up a new world, and the ground hasn't come out yet, so why did it become a trough? However, something even more outrageous happened. Since the voice of Wo Sao appeared, the element channel in the sky that spread towards the area of Sakura country unexpectedly turned 180 degrees in place and turned towards the direction it came from. The direction flew away. Old Lu, he went back. Gone back. Countless job changers with tears in their eyes felt as if they had been betrayed. My emotions are brewing here, you tell me, are you kidding? But at this time, Lu Lao's words came from the sky, which shocked everyone. There are a large number of undead in the area of Sakura country, everyone should be careful not to get close to it, so as not to be affected. I repeat again, there are a large number of undead in the Sakura country area, everyone should be careful not to get close to it, so as not to be affected. Lu Lao felt that his old face was a little bit unbearable, but he was a very pragmatic giant, so he still took out his savings and sent another world news in the world. His current mentality is very similar to that of Lu Feng and Luo Li before. Anyway, that crack can't be closed artificially. So, less than half an hour later, another piece of news that shocked countless people appeared on the World Channel. Sakura country has taken its own blame, and is enjoying the endless natural disasters of the undead. Thank you, Giant Lu Feng, and the Dark Temple for the big gift package. The people of Yan country will thank you. Here, I once again warn the people of Yan country, don't get close to the area of Sakura country. Don't get close to Sakura country area. Huge fonts floated across the chat channel. Many job changers from Yan country have seen this news. But still a little confused. It wasn't until the voices of sporadic job changers from the Sakura country began to appear on the regional channel that many job changers from the Yan country came to their senses. Why, didn't you say that the cracks in the plane of the undead are arranged in the Yan kingdom? Why are there so many undead creatures here? Woohoo, who will save me? No, this is not true. I am blocked by undead creatures, they are coming towards me. I can't hide anymore. Those guys seem to be able to smell the breath of living people. Go away and go to the people of Yan Kingdom 20, don't come to me. Help, Lu Feng, you devil, you must die. It's Lu Feng, it must be Lu Feng. I knew that he must have been sent by the Yan Kingdom. He wants to subvert our Sakura, so don't let him go. Kill Lu Feng. At the beginning, there were only sporadic voices, but there were more and more voices later on, and even the people of Yan Kingdom felt that Liao was panicking when they saw it. Guzi, you saw it. Come out and crawl. Yes, Guzi really think that you can get rid of your roots by digging out your heart. It's ridiculous. I just want to know now, how big is the psychological shadow area of Guzi? Happy to hear and see. Everyone is ready. Don't let any dog or a person from Sakura country run over. Yes, 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 everyone. Form a team and swipe the national tribute. Everyone in Yangguo felt refreshed, the refreshing feeling of sinking into the abyss one moment, and flying to heaven the next moment, which made countless people almost turn the sky upside down, shouting loudly, the invisible combat power buff blessing, I wish I could fight with you. Cherry Blossom's job changer cuts the main king's night. Public secrets. All the giants in the Eagle Sauce country fell silent. Are the people in Sakura country all useless? This matter can't be arranged. Ross Tess cursed. The other giants were not polite at all, and gave the family portraits of the Union giants in Sakura country. In the end, an old man from the Ross family said, what we should think about now is how to eliminate this influence. The decline of the cherry blossoms and the great increase in the fortunes of the Yan kingdom are not a good thing for us. This is the punishment for being a loser. Besides, our most important thing now is to win the Sky Arena, and you all know what this means. Ross Tess said in a deep voice. As for the matter of Yan Kingdom, let's settle it after this matter is settled. At this time, he saw the information pop-up window of the Sakura Country Condor Union, shook his head, and ignored it. The crisis in the Yan Kingdom is resolved, and we will probably focus on advancing the progress. We can't go on like this any longer. Everyone is going to do their best now, otherwise the Ross family will impose sanctions on your union. The Ross family got serious, and the giants of the other Eagle Sauce countries did not dare to neglect. They all put away their playfulness and tried their best to eliminate the monsters in front of them. On the other hand, the mentality of the Condor who had sent messages to the Ross family several times was not bad, but after seeing the news from the world, he froze completely and was almost sent away by Wang Feng Wang. Withdraw, quickly withdraw, he said angrily. Facing the giants of the Yan Kingdom, the many giants of the Sakura Kingdom, who were under a lot of pressure, turned their heads and ran away in fright when they heard this angry and mournful cry. If there is no chance, even if you resist a few times, you must create an opportunity. If it really doesn't work, he can only stay where he is and fight the giants of the Yan Kingdom. Obviously, when everyone starts to retreat, such behavior is undoubtedly looking for death. Fortunately, there are not many giants in this situation, only 5. After a while, he was besieged to death by the giants of the Yan Kingdom, and he was resurrected several times in a row, but he couldn't get rid of it, so he completely hiccuped. What the hell happened? Why did all the giants of the Sakura Kingdom run away? Even willing to abandon the 5 giants. You must know that every giant is the precious wealth of the country, and unless it is absolutely necessary, a giant will never be easily killed. Therefore, they are very puzzled and shocked. Many giants in anger, unlike Condor, who watch the chat channel every few seconds, naturally did not see the world information posted by Lu Lao. At this time, Lu Qiming exclaimed and slapped his thigh suddenly. Boy, I got it. You watch World Channel. Many giants opened the data panels one after another, and all of them showed shock on their faces. How could it be? Will there be accidents in this kind of thing? A giant couldn't help but said. It's outrageous. I want to ask now, is Lu Feng an undercover agent sent by you? As soon as the words fell, all the giants looked at the presidents of the 4 major trade unions. If he didn't know his own affairs, the 4 presidents would have doubted themselves. Not mine. I swear, if my undercover agent did something like that, I would have killed him. Not mine either. You know, I almost hacked him to death before. Huang Fengyang said the most ruthless words in a light tone. Wang Fengwang confirmed again, really not real. After getting an affirmative answer, she grinned and turned on the World Channel. Great Lu Feng, well done, now, you can go home with honor. We will take care of you. Sincerely, Phoenix. I Sao. All giants were stunned. This operation is really cool. However, there were still a few giants who didn't know why, and asked, President Wang, aren't you helping that Urguzi clean up his crimes? He was originally a traitor, but now he has transformed into a hero. Wang Fengwang shook his head and said, you are thinking wrong. After all, Lu Feng is a rank 8 giant. As long as he doesn't want to, it is basically impossible for him to die in the natural disaster of the undead. And as long as he hides in the territory of Sakura Kingdom, we will still take him no way. But it's different now. As long as my news gets out, the giants of Sakura Kingdom will not hack that guy to death. All go. This news is worth it. Many giants sighed. As expected of a woman who can be the president, this thought is delicate. By the way, everyone immediately go after Sakura's giants, don't let them run back easily. The longer the time drags on, the more Sakura's strength will be damaged. Hurry up. Like a pack of wolves who had been hungry for more than 10 days, a group of giants in Yan Kingdom chased towards the place where the giants of Sakura Kingdom escaped. Lu Nan is completely unaware of the vicissitudes of other places. He rarely looks at the chat channel on the data panel. At this moment, he is leading hundreds of millions of skeleton knights, galloping in the area controlled by Sakura Kingdom. Comfortable, sitting on the thick undead bone horse, looking at the endless skeleton knights all around, Lu Nan couldn't help grinning. In Yan country, there are more or less scruples, so they seldom display their strength with all their strength. But after arriving in the country of cherry blossoms, he didn't pay so much attention. Not long ago, after he entered a leveling area in the Sakura Kingdom, he worked hard and spent more than half an hour summoning more than 200 million skeleton knights. It costs less than 2,000 points of mana, which is really too little compared to his more than 1 million mana. With just these mana, I'll keep summoning for an unknown number of days. After careful calculation, Lu Nan's scalp also felt a little numb. He had been focusing on accumulating mana before, but he didn't expect this. In the future, we can properly spend more time on shortening the CD and strengthening the skills of summoned creatures. More than 200 million skeleton warriors spread out, which was much more terrifying than imagined, but Lu Nan did not stop calling. 187 was sitting on the undead bone horse, and as the undead knight army continued to shuttle, killing all creatures along the way, more and more skeleton knights emerged from the summoning circle. Join that incomparably huge team. On the data panel, tens of thousands of prompts are continuously swiped every second. Therefore, there is a reason why Lu Nan is not used to watching chat channels. I am annoyed when I see those dense prompts. You killed the dark python, experience plus 100,000. You killed the forest ghost, experience plus 80,000. You kill the Sakura job changer, the national tribute plus 50. You kill the Sakura job changer, the national tribute plus 200. Your national tribute level has increased, and the current level is 2 stars. Your national tribute level has been raised, and the current level is 3 stars. Your national tribute level has increased, the current level is 4 stars. There are many public areas under the control of Sakura Kingdom, and at this moment, in the leveling areas of each area, a large number of skeleton knights are constantly shuttling through them, killing all the monsters and Sakura job changers in front of them. At the same time, Lu Nan's national tribute level and the items in his backpack are also increasing and increasing. He didn't know that in an area he passed by, the Eye of Will of the undead plane stopped impatiently, chose a position in place, and opened a crack. What the Eye of Will wants to find is a location with the strongest breath of undead. If this is the case, the price to be paid for opening the space crack will be smaller. But the relationship between Lu Nan and his undead summons is like a rolling snowball, where it goes, it rolls, and it gets bigger and bigger. At this second, the Eye of Will had just chosen this position, and at the next second, it sensed that the aura of the undead not far away was stronger, and subconsciously chased after it. Then, before it even started, I felt a more intense position appearing in front of me. After coming down more than 10 times in a row, the Eye of Will is completely tired. That is really tiring. For the will of the plane, observing another world through the barrier of the plane is a very strenuous task in itself. So, it compromised. Here it is. Tired. The Eye of Will slowly disappeared, accompanied by the vibration of the space. The aura of the undead around was rapidly rewinding, the earth suddenly opened a terrible crack, and an unimaginable darkness slowly emerged. At the same time, there is a gray world that spans tens of thousands of miles, and it is all monotonous gray and white. All kinds of undead creatures survive, fight and become powerful in this vast expanse of land. There are skeletons that have just been born with soul fire, staggering and fighting with weak skeletons that are also newborn. There are ordinary skeletons with bone knives wandering around. A bone beast whose body is covered with broken skin like leather. A wizard with a staff and wearing a long cloak. The bone dragon entrenched in the fortress of bones. In the vast undead world, every inch of the place is full of undead, and the strong breath of undead wraps the entire land in a gray world. But at this moment, an undead creature who once sat on the throne of bones suddenly felt an abnormal fluctuation. It is 4 to 5 meters tall, covered with thick bone armor, surrounded by a strong undead breath, and in the huge and deep eye sockets, 2 bright undead flames are like 2 rounds of furnaces. Suddenly, it stood up from the throne, and the flames in its eyes revealed a hint of agility. It stretched out its hand, the undead flames in its eyes fluctuated continuously, and then the skeleton throne underneath suddenly moved, and after a while, it turned into a giant skeleton dragon with huge bone spurs. Brush. The skeleton dragon flew towards the sky carrying the tall undead creatures. I, great skeleton titan Mog, call upon my people. High in the sky, a crack became more and more obvious. Gradually penetrate the earth. The vitality coming from the other end made the skeleton titan Mog and countless undead creatures feel extremely excited. As if they were stimulated, they rushed towards here frantically. And in this land controlled by the skeleton titan, there are countless skeleton creatures, either wandering or fighting, or perched on the limestone. At this moment, all recovery. Under the command of the skeleton titan, dozens of huge undead creatures with strong bony tails first stepped into the space crack. Afterwards, more undead creatures rushed towards the crack. This is the world of living beings. Not long after, the skeleton titan stepped out from the crack in the space, and then, carrying tens of millions of undead creatures, spread out in all directions. However, at this moment, it noticed something, and the huge skeleton body froze suddenly. This breath, which adult descended. Undead creatures, especially high-speed undead creatures like it, are most sensitive to the 2 auras flowing in the air. One is the breath of living beings, and the other is the breath of undead. But at this moment, there is not only the breath of life in the air, but also a strong breath of undead. Skeleton Titan wasn't surprised by the breath of life, but let it rest in the ultra-high quality breath of undead. So much so, let it guess that a powerful undead creature descended here. Considering that it might conflict with such a big man, it decided to bring undead creatures to visit. So, it originally wanted the undead creatures to bloom in all directions, and tried to restrain all the undead creatures that could be restrained, and went in the direction where Lu Nan disappeared. It is getting closer and closer to the border of Sakura country, and farther away from the direction of Yan country. Ding! You killed Thunderfire Tiger, experience plus 150 million. You get the gun of Thunderfire. You got the almighty crystal. You got the armor of Thunderfire. The boss refresh in the Sakura country area is very intensive. Lu Nan was also a little curious. Don't people here fight boss? Putting it on the side of Yan Kingdom, almost every boss in the area that can go, once there, someone will organize to fight the boss, and occasionally there will be some fish that slip through the net. The sporadic bosses that Lu Nan fought before belong to this category. However, many of the areas controlled by the Sakura Kingdom were left untouched. It's really strange, but he didn't know that at this moment, a high-level group of cherry blossoms was hurrying in the leveling area with a look of displeasure. If you let me know who killed our boss, he must look good. A job changer who looked very young said viciously. This high-level group has 20 people, and there are 4 7-rank giants and 1 8-rank giant, and the others are all 6-rank ranks. However, for the undead disaster that is raging now, there is no idea of going to stop it at all. Because, they themselves have a secret mission. Nightwalker, let's hurry up, the area where the undead disaster is raging is getting bigger and bigger. I looked at it, and there are at least 7 or 8 bosses in the area that can't be approached for the time being. However, even if there are more than a dozen of them left, it should be enough to advance the mission to the next level. The rank 8 giant said. The Dark Night Walker is the young job changer. He nodded his head when he heard this, but said with some dissatisfaction, I don't know what that Lu Feng is doing. Our Black Yuan Union said that as long as we work steadily and complete the task of summoning God, is it okay? If you make it like this now, it's really causing us trouble. The Black Yuan Union is Sakura's 9th level union. As an SSS hidden professional in the union, Nightcrawler naturally has enough confidence to complain. Condor died a high-level group in order to do the task of summoning the gods. Of course, it will not let it go. Our high-level group should not repeat the same mistakes. Don't worry, this is the hinterland of our cherry blossom country, even those undead will not be able to come here in a short while. A rank 7 giant laughed. Qian Lizao, everyone pay more attention. The rank 8 giant said. Soon, they reached the boss refresh location. When he saw the living boss not far away, the rank 8 giant suddenly relaxed and woke up. It seems that I am too nervous. How should I put it, this is also the hinterland of my cherry blossoms, who would dare to not only allow it, but also run over. He regained his confidence, waved his hand and said the demon sealing team is going to limit the boss. The output team is ready to output. Go. However, just as he finished speaking, his eyes widened suddenly, and in his field of vision, he only saw a shadow flashing out of a dense forest not far away. Defense. There are enemies. The rank 8 giant shouted violently, his whole body trembling. Because, just after the skeleton knight appeared, more skeleton knights turned into gray shadows and shot over. Sakura Premium Group. Lu Nan quickly discovered the situation here. If they met in other places, they might have passed away without a sound. Although his mind could see the scene around him through every summoned skeleton, there were so many summoned objects that he couldn't see them at all. Only the location where the boss refreshes will make him pay more attention. There is also a high-level group here that is clearing the boss. It is the same as the high-level group that was destroyed before. Does it mean that the reason why Sakura can have so many refreshed bosses is not because Sakura's job changers don't want to fight, but don't dare to fight? Lu Nan vaguely sensed something hidden. Seeing the skeleton knights covering Sakura's senior group, Lu Nan leisurely ate fruits and melon seeds. It's not that he hasn't killed the high-level group led by the 8-rank giant, and it's still when his summoned creatures haven't reached the 8-rank epic. Now, the summoned creatures have advanced to the 8th rank epic level, so it is not too easy for a team of this level. You killed the Sakura job changer, the national tribute plus 100. You killed the Sakura job changer, national quality plus 50. All kinds of killing sounds came continuously. Lu Nan didn't even know how many Sakura job changers he had killed. Anyway, his current national tribute had reached a rather high number. There are a full 500,000 points, and it is still in the process of continuous improvement. The national tribute level has also reached 6 stars, and it is estimated that it is not far from Saturn. This national tribute is really difficult to raise. After studying it, Lu Nan couldn't help being amazed. If someone knew about it, they would definitely roll their eyes. It took at least several years or even decades for the entire public area to be as strong as those giants to the 7 or 8 star national tribute level. Where is he here? In just a day or two, he was promoted to 7 stars. Moreover, it still looks dissatisfied. Of course, it was Lu Nan lamented for a reason, because he discovered that the higher the level of national tribute, the more national tribute is needed. Especially for the 6-star national tribute level, to reach the 7-star level, it takes 300,000 national tribute accumulation to be promoted to 7-star. There are so many national tributes, it's a pity not to use them to shoot skills. Lu Nan immediately opened the heroic spirit panel on the data panel. In the upper right corner, there is a heroic spirit store. There are magic bonus skills, and the next step is life and 4-dimensional attribute bonus skills. Spend the national tribute to exchange the skills, and then slap all of them towards the opened heroic skill bar. Ding! Your heroic spirit has successfully learned heroic spirit life bonus, and the extra life bonus is 1%, and the current bonus is 1%. Ding! Your heroic spirit has successfully learned the heroic spirit physique bonus, and the bonus is 1% extra, and the current bonus is 1%. Ding! Your heroic spirit has successfully learned the heroic spirit strength bonus, and the power bonus is 1% extra, and the current bonus is 1%. It is the first time to learn a heroic skill in the empty heroic skill column, and the success is always 100%. Lu Nan was idle and bored, directly consumed 60,000 merits, exchanged 600 skill books, 100 of each type, and then started to learn. However, after a few seconds passed, he froze in a daze. After a round of skills, they all failed. Is my face that dark? Lu Nan felt a toothache. Bite the bullet and do another round. Still fail. It seems that in this life, he is destined to be a non-chief. You know, the lower the number of skill layers, the higher the success rate. The mana enhancement skill has been strengthened to the 4th layer, and it doesn't matter if it fails twice in a row. The others are all the 1st layer skills. Neither cab succeeded. How dark is this face? Forget it, let's arrange the props. Lu Nan didn't hesitate, and directly took out the Heart of Time. A few minutes later, a reminder came. Your mana bonus level has reached the current limit, please increase the national tribute level to unlock the next level of skill limit. Ah, does this heroic spirit skill have a so-called limit? Lu Nan was surprised, but then he thought, if there is no limit, then this heroic spirit is really scary. Unlimited promotion, no one can stand it. Fortunately, only I can strengthen infinitely. Lu Nan grinned. Sure enough, the next moment, another voice sounded. Ding! Your heroic spirit has successfully learned the bonus of heroic spirit and mana, and the mana bonus is an additional 1%, and the current bonus is 61%. What follows is a wave of pleasant journey of stacking skills. After all the 600 skill books on hand were consumed, Lu Nan stopped immediately. It's not that he doesn't want to continue stacking, but that the power of time in the glass bottle of the Heart of Time is exhausted. Without the help of the god-level props like the Heart of Time, with his non-chief attribute, it is estimated that he will throw in all the hundreds of thousands of meritorious deeds on hand, and he will also be promoted to the primary level. Looking at the heroic spirit panel, Lu Nan sighed with emotion. This is definitely the most powerful heroic spirit among the 6-star heroic spirits. Ordinary heroic spirit. Gender: female. Rating: 6-star. Mana: 1.2 million. Physique: 2000. Agility: 2000. Bonus effect for the protagonist himself: life plus 6%, mana plus 6%, 4-dimensional attributes plus 6%. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Skill bonus effect for the hero itself: 100%. Law bonus: 100%. Physical bonus: 100%. 100%. Agility bonus: 100%. Stamina bonus: 100%. Comfortable. Lu Nan laughed. After a bunch of skills are superimposed, the attribute bonus given to him by the heroic spirit has surpassed that of an ordinary piece of legendary equipment. After a few days, the power of time recovers, and there will be another wave. If things go on like this, the horror of the bonus is unimaginable. It is estimated that it is even more magical than an artifact. Thinking of this, Lu Nan took a deep breath and looked at the heroic spirit with green light in his eyes. Upgrade, upgrade. There is also the god-level Heart of Time. If there is no such thing, it is impossible to raise the heroic spirit to such a level even if I am given millions of merits. For the Heart of Time, Lu Nan has become more and more important. This thing is now in a dilapidated state. If it is completely restored, I don't know how terrible it will be. Correspondingly, how strong is the god who controls the artifact? Lu Nan suddenly became cautious. And at this time, where the boss is, Sakura's high-ranking group is finally completely wiped out. The main reason is that those giants all carry some resurrection props, which are very difficult to kill, otherwise, it would take less than a few minutes. A bunch of dropped items were picked up by the Skeleton Knight and then entered Lu Nan's Space Pack King. After killing multiple bosses in a row, the items in Lunan's space backpack are almost piled up. Others kill monsters one by one. It's amazing, they just swipe a group, but he just swipe one map at a time, and of course the equipment and props dropped will not be less. Moreover, the quality is quite high, and there are even several pieces of epic equipment. However, with Yumeng's sacred magic set in mind, he naturally looks down on these epic equipment. But, at this moment, Lunan suddenly let out a cry of surprise. He found a somewhat different item among the items dropped by the senior group of Sakura country. When I picked it up and looked at it, my heart skipped a beat. The Gate of Summoning the Gods quest item. Quality: God. Description: the rules of heaven and earth are changing, a new version era is coming, and the sleeping gods are about to revive. As long as enough boss souls are collected, the sleeping gods can be revived. Current progress: 35%. Note: the stronger the soul, the greater the improvement in progress. Note: please call carefully, the gods are unpredictable. I go. Those guys formed a high-level group and killed the boss just for this mission of summoning the gods. Lunan's back suddenly felt cold. The current him, even if he doesn't know the specific strength of the 9th rank giant, but he has killed 2 8th-rank giants. Thinking about it, it is impossible for the 9th rank giant to be so exaggeratedly stronger than the 8th rank giant. Therefore, for the 9th rank giant, he still has a great psychological advantage. Now, it is estimated that only sanctuary and demigod levels make him somewhat uncertain. Not to mention the gods. Before, he felt that the gods were still far away from him, but now when he saw the item for calling the gods, Lu was speechless. The Sakura kingdom is actually doing the task of summoning the gods. If he hadn't just been cut off by himself, once the gods recovered, Yan kingdom would be in danger. However, the trade unions should have some background. Lunan threw the thing into the space backpack. As long as he doesn't care about this thing, the gods of the Sakura kingdom will naturally not be able to recover. However, Lunan still underestimated the spirit item. Just after he threw the item of the summoning task into it, the 35% progress. There was a sudden jump. 36%. What happened? Lunan's eyes widened. Is it because I killed a large number of monsters? He stared at the task item, but after a while, the numbers on it did not change. What is the reason? Just find the next monster boss and kill it, and you will know. Lunan hurriedly led the skeleton knight to the next boss refresh point. A few seconds later, the huge boss collapsed, leaving behind a bunch of floating falling light clusters. Lunan didn't look at it, but stared at the progress of the summoning mission. But this time, the numbers remained unchanged. It shouldn't be because of me. Lunan let out a long breath, and felt relieved a little. If it was really because he slaughtered the boss and the progress was improved, then it would be equivalent to helping Sakura Kingdom with this task. Gods are not monsters, they possess high-level intelligence, and most importantly, they possess the concept of camps. Lunan, a pure native of Yan Kingdom, summoned a god from Sakura Kingdom. Isn't that courting death? Forget it, throw it to the union executives to bother you when you go back. Lunan thought to himself. I am just a newbie right now, so when encountering such a big problem, I must find a big boss to solve it. After looking at it, in the past few hours, he has killed a total of 12 bosses. Counting the bosses killed yesterday, the task of changing the class of the epic boss is almost completed. Lunan continued to summon the skeleton knight without interruption. More and more summoned creatures are heading for further maps. And because of the sudden incident, the job changers in the entire Cherry Blossom country reacted surprisingly slowly, causing a large number of people to be killed by undead creatures and turned into Lunan's national tribute. Suddenly, a surprised expression appeared in Lunan's eyes. Through the perspective of a skeleton knight in the distance, he saw an ancient city of cherry blossoms built by job changers. Suddenly, 10 huge statues suddenly moved. As that, a guardian statue. Lunan was immediately shocked. At the same time, a notification sound came out, now on the World Channel. The Cherry Blossom country was invaded and suffered heavy losses. With no one waking up, the Cherry Blossom Guardian statue recovered on its own and launched a counterattack against the invaders. Warning! Warning! Sakura's job changer has suffered heavy casualties. Sakura's job changer should go to the public area of Condor Eagle City to support quickly. Once the guardian statue dies, Sakura will be the general doctor of the national games. Warning, warning. The scarlet font appears on the data panel of every Sakura country job changer. Baga, Lu Feng must commit suicide in order to pay homage to the souls of our cherry blossom country. Everyone, support Condor Eagle City. Hurry up, Shenyang City is one of our main cities, we must not lose anything, or we will be sinners in the Sakura Kingdom. Over the years, with the help of Yingjiang Country, the resource area controlled by Sakura Country is not small at all, and it can also be ranked among the countries in the surrounding areas. Therefore, even at this moment, the skeleton knight summoned by Lu Nan has already broken 1 billion, but there are still many places that have not been affected by the disaster. Among them, there is the Black Dragon Association, a top 8th trade union in Sakura Country. Knowing that the natural disaster of the undead broke out in the border area, the giants of the Black Dragon Society were very excited. In Sakura Country, the Condor Guild is the strongest, occupying the most abundant resources, and the geographical location of Condor City is close to the border, where the natural disaster of the undead broke out. Condor City must bear the brunt. At that time, the strength of Shenyang City will be greatly reduced, and the 8th level trade unions under them will naturally be full of food. Therefore, when the job changers below kept asking for help, they pretended not to see it, and even wondered if there was any way to make the natural disaster of the undead more violent. Unexpectedly, before he had a few moments of joy, he saw the message displayed on the data panel. As a result, the giants of the Black Dragon Society suddenly jumped. Quick, go to Condor Eagle City for support. You idiots, why didn't you prepare earlier? Hearing the president's roar, the other giants felt a little unhappy. Isn't it because you don't let everyone go? Now that something goes wrong, you will know the reprimand. Idiot. However, before the giants set off, the voice of regulation sounded on the World Channel. The guardian statue of Condor Eagle City is dead, the national luck of the cherry blossoms is reduced by 5%, the output of resources is reduced by 5%, and the birth probability of top talents is reduced by 5%. The guardian statue of Condor Eagle City is dead, the national luck of the cherry blossoms is reduced by 5%, the output of resources is reduced by 5%, and the birth probability of top talents is reduced by 5%. The guardian statue of Condor Eagle City is dead, the national luck of the cherry blossoms is reduced by 5%, the output of resources is reduced by 5%, and the birth probability of top talents is reduced by 5%. Public secrets. The panic-stricken Shenyang and others finally got rid of the pursuit of the giants of the Yan Kingdom. Looking at the news that drifted by from time to time in the World Channel, the faces of many giants were full of evil spirits. Most of this information was sent by the giants of Sakura's top union who stayed in the union's residence. For giants, 100 billion alliance coins is a lot, but it is not impossible to get them out. As long as you work harder, you can have the money of the next world speaker in 2 years. In ordinary times, I would definitely be reluctant to part with it, but I don't even look at what time it is. Where can I save money? When I go back, I will definitely settle with Lu Feng and the Dark Temple. Shenyang felt his lungs explode. Such a good plan was ruined at the most critical point. However, fortunately, the guardian statue is activated. With the strength of the guardian statue, it will definitely be able to curb the natural disaster of the undead. When we go back, we can seal the world in one fell swoop. Condor said. However, the next moment, everyone froze suddenly, their faces were covered with shock and paleness. The guardian statue of Condor Eagle City is dead, the national luck of the cherry blossoms is reduced by 5%, the output of resources is reduced by 5%, and the birth probability of top talents is reduced by 5%. How can it be? That's a guardian statue. How could it be defeated so quickly? The giants let out ferocious roars, facing the secret passageway that was close at hand. They didn't dare to take a step forward. They are all upper-level figures in the Sakura Kingdom, and they know the horror of the guardian statue. The reason why they dare to speak out to quell the natural disaster of the undead is also because of the existence of the guardian statue. However, how long has passed, and the guardian statue has not recovered for a while, and died. How powerful is the undead natural disaster? Aren't these people looking for death when they go back now? We are the top powerhouses of Cherry Blossom, so we can't take risks easily. In Dangwo's words, we will keep the Green Hills alive without worrying about firewood. At this time, Shenying took a deep breath, suppressed the pain in his heart, and said. This sentence was quickly recognized by all the giants. Everyone knows how difficult it is to be born a giant, so we must cherish life so that we can make more contributions to Sakura in the future. Suzuda makes a lot of sense. Soon, many tycoons in the Sakura kingdom were persuaded from the bottom of their hearts. However, we still have a chance, Condor said suddenly. Chance? The other giants looked at Condor in puzzlement. The Condor Eagle was already in full swing, so he felt much better, and said with a smile, you know, the guardian statue of our Condor Eagle city is comparable to the combat power of the sanctuary, but it was defeated in just over 10 seconds. Imagine how terrifying this undead disaster is. As for the characteristics of undead, many of you should know something about it. Creatures like undead have a natural aversion to living things. Do you think those undead will only deal with a Sakura? Hiss. After such an analysis, the giants of the Sakura kingdom instantly understood, and their eyes lit up. President Shenying is right. How can such a powerful undead natural disaster be satisfied in our cherry blossom area? Yangwo area is not far from Shenying city, so it is definitely impossible to escape. Break. So, after we return, the vacated area will still be ours. As long as our gods recover, we will naturally grow rapidly and return to the peak. Shenying swept away the previous depression and laughed. In terms of the strength of gods, Sakura country does not think it will be inferior to other countries, especially Yan country. After all, Yan kingdom has no gods. Thinking of this, Condor was not polite anymore, and directly sent a message on the world channel. Don't be complacent in the Yan kingdom. Do you think that you can escape? The area where the undead natural disaster broke out is not far from your place, right? Do you think that the undead, who naturally hate living creatures, will let you go? The news that appeared repeatedly on the World Channel has already attracted the attention of countless people, including the job changers from Yan Kingdom. Originally, they were very excited in the regional channel, but after seeing this news, they suddenly panicked. Yes, such a powerful undead natural disaster will definitely spread to the Yan country area at that time, and those job changers who are too late to withdraw will definitely bear the brunt. Quick, evacuate everyone. Enter the border. Those whose strength is above rank 5, enter Yanwang ancient city and guard our guardian statue. We are not those cowards of Sakura. Today, people are in the city. Yan country job changers who understood the seriousness of the matter rushed towards their destination spontaneously. At the same time, above the ancient city of Yanwang, Lu Lao's figure stopped above, looking at the job changers from Yan kingdom below. His eyes were determined. If you want to break the city, step over my corpse. In the city, countless job changers raised their heads to look at the old but straight figure, feeling certain in their hearts, raised their heads and roared angrily, their eyes determined. People are in the city. People are in the city. Infected by the turbulent atmosphere, the job changers kept raising their heads to the sky and roaring. But I didn't want to. At this time, another voice of rules came. When the guardian statue of Condor Eagle City dies, Yan Kingdom's fortunes will increase by 5%, resource output will increase by 5%, and the birth probability of top talent will increase by 100%. The guardian statue of Condor Eagle City dies, Yan Kingdom's national luck increases by 5%, resource output increases by 5%, and the birth probability of top talent increases by 5%. The guardian statue of Condor Eagle City dies, Yan Kingdom's national luck increases by 5%, resource output increases by 5%, and the birth probability of top talent increases by 5%. I Sao. The job changers from the Yan Kingdom, who were passionate and fearful of death, were embarrassed. Elder Lu in the sky was also embarrassed. Listen to the content of the voice of rules. Yan country. It's really Yan country. Didn't we agree? Let's all resist the natural disaster of the undead together. Why did someone steal the house? Wrong. Could this count as a house theft? There was a glint of excitement in Lu Lao's eyes. They know that only the party responsible for the main attack can be recognized by the rules of heaven and earth. Therefore, there is no possibility of stealing the house. If it is said that the undead from the undead plane caused more than 50% of the damage to the Sakura kingdom, then even if someone secretly killed the guardian statue at the last moment, the rules of heaven and earth would not take it into consideration. So, someone went to the depths of the cherry blossom country and caused more than 50% of the damage to the cherry blossom country. Old Lu was trembling with excitement. As a rank 9 powerhouse, he clearly knew how powerless he was in the face of that terrible undead natural disaster. At that time, he only saw a scaly claw from a distance, and his scalp felt numb, so he had to turn around and return. It can be seen how terrifying this natural disaster of the undead is. Being able to be recognized by the rules of heaven and earth in such a devastating natural disaster. How powerful is this Yan Guo Sr.? Could it be that someone from the older generation came back from the mountain? Elder Lu was so excited that he wished he could scream up to the sky. It must be the seniors of our Yan kingdom who made the move. Great, with seniors of this level, our country of Yan can be saved. Haha, the national fortune has been promoted. After so many years, we finally see the promotion of the international. I don't know which senior it is. In the public secret realm, many giants who were frantically rushing back were ecstatic. Everyone, don't go back now. I just got the news from Lu Lao. At present, everything is safe in the Yan Kingdom area. We have already opened up wasteland to this point. If we go back now, I am afraid that other countries will be the first to take it. Well, indeed, land reclamation is more important right now, said a tycoon from Yan Kingdom. He is an SS-level hidden professional observer, who can observe the most important context from various clues, so as to see the final result. However, the higher the target level of observation, the greater the importance and the greater the difficulty. Since opening up wasteland, he has used his professional characteristics to observe clues almost all the time, getting closer and closer to the final result. At this moment, I finally couldn't help but speak out. Big Lin Hao, what did you see? A relic floating in the sky. Observer Lin Hao said after pondering for a moment. Little by little, he described the results of his judgment. Suddenly, the oldest Huang Fengyang exclaimed, how is that possible? What's the matter, President Huang? Many giants asked one after another. Huang Fengyang said excitedly. What Big Lin Hao said, if I guess correctly, it should be the Sky Arena. What? It's actually the Sky Arena. This is incredible. What are you waiting for? Everyone, go back to open up wasteland quickly, and you must get the Sky Arena. This is a battle of abnormal national destiny. Even if we sacrifice our old bones, we must get it. All giants are excited, just because the Sky Arena involves the sanctuary qualification after rank 9. For any country, this thing is definitely the existence of a country's heritage. Can't help but they are not crazy. In contrast, with the public area where the mysterious senior boss controls the situation, it is no longer an important issue. Yan country still has such a strong man. Ross Tess, the giant team of Yingjiang country, was surprised. Looking at an old man beside him, there was a trace of exploration in his eyes. It stands to reason that it should be gone. However, there is no need to worry, existences above rank 9 cannot enter here, and it will not affect our victory over the Sky Arena. There is a little trouble. I just discovered those giants of the Yan Kingdom through the eyes of the sky, and it seems that I know the secret of this secret realm. It's okay, even if we let them come over, there will be no waves. Ross Tess said confidently, as if he had been prepared for a long time. But at this moment, the giants of the Sakura Kingdom, who were waiting for the good show in the Dan Kingdom, were speechless. Ba ga, why does Yan country still have such a strong man? No, it must not be true. It's just that things have some accidents, and those undead natural disasters will still rush towards the Yan Kingdom area. Obviously, these are just incompetent roars, these giants don't even have the courage to leave the secret realm. 0. At this moment, Lu Nan is completely unaware of the turmoil in the outside world. He was riding his beloved undead bone horse, throwing a few knights out of the funeral from time to time, and then, the huge undead magic circle began to cover the surrounding land. Hundreds of thousands of skeleton knights quietly emerged, and under the command of Lu Nan, they joined the huge sea of undead. Seeing the ever-increasing national tributes, Lu Nan just had fun. Your national tribute level has increased, and the current level is 7 stars. The national tribute level has reached 7 stars, and the speed of obtaining national tribute has dropped a lot. Lu Nan took a closer look. The original minimum profit was 10 points, but now, it has become 1 point. It seems that the 7 stars of the national tribute are a watershed. At this level, there are not many national tributes left to kill ordinary job changers. Lu Nan felt a little pity. After a rough calculation in my mind, I am afraid it will take a long time to reach the 8-star level. From the 7-star national tribute level to the 8-star national tribute level, there is a difference of 2 million national tributes. It is simply not human. We can only kill more high-level job changers. But, how can high transfer job changers be easily found? I don't know how the bosses of the trade union were upgraded to 8 stars. Lu Nan was about to ask in the group, when suddenly, a piece of news came. You killed the guardian statue of Condor City. You get 1 million points of national tribute. You get the luck of the country for the country of Yan, and the scroll of luck rules God X1. You get the mysterious scroll fragment X5. I sow. This reward is a bit awesome. Lu Nan couldn't sit still for a while, and looked directly at the space backpack. When he saw those 2 items, his breathing suddenly became heavy. This thing is too scary. Also, is it possible to get such a great reward for killing any guardian statue? Lu Nan hastily looked through the previous battle records. Wang Tian paid off, and after a few minutes, he finally found the reason among the dense records. The rewards for these things are impressively the rewards for killing the guardian statue of the main city. Scroll of Luck Rules God. Quality. God level. Use. After use, you can get the Blessing of Luck Rules, the Clock of the Rules of Heaven and Earth, and the duration is 24 hours. Time limit. 7 days. Note. This is something that the gods are jealous of, and it shouldn't exist in the world. The purpose is not very detailed, but understandable. It should be the one that increases luck, but unfortunately, it can only last for 24 hours. Lu Nan is not without regret. I don't know what the effect will be. If it's just average, it's not interesting. After thinking about it, Lu Nan put back the space backpack. He hasn't considered whether to use this fetish now or not. The 24-hour luck bonus, if used in the right place, is definitely more valuable than an artifact, and if it is not used in the right place, it will be of low value. Look at the second item. Mysterious Scroll Fragment. Grade. Purpose. This is a mysterious scroll, but for some reason, the real face cannot be seen. You need an identification scroll to identify it. Note. This is not a regular scroll. You may need to pay attention when choosing an appraisal scroll. Lu Nan looked, and then took a deep breath. It is indeed an item rewarded by the rules, and it is a godsend. However, it seems that it should not be an ordinary item. Lu Nan threw the thing back, and moved his gaze to other directions in the Sakura country area. If I remember correctly, there should be 3 main cities in the 20 Cherry Blossom country area. The statue of the Condor Eagle city has been destroyed, and the others cannot be kept. After all, it's all for luck. Lu Nan couldn't sit still anymore, and began to order the skeleton knights in various regions to rush towards Heiyuan City, another main city of Sakura Kingdom. This main city is quite far from the Divine Eagle City. If you look at the border area of Sakura Country, Shenyang City is in the west, and Black Yuan City is in the north. Moreover, the main city is not far from his location. The skeleton knight's speed is extremely fast, definitely far exceeding the general 8-turn epic speed. Not long after, it appeared in front of Heiyuan City, the main city of Sakura Kingdom. In the huge main city, there are few people at the moment, only some job changers from the Sakura Kingdom with different thoughts wandering around in every corner. Seeing this, Lu Nan felt a little pity. Every job changer in the Sakura Kingdom is a precious national tribute. Now that they have slipped away, the national tribute will naturally be gone. These people are too spineless. Lu Nan shook his head, but he didn't take it seriously. After all, giants are not Chinese cabbage, and low-level transferees, now there are not many national tributes to collect. This time, I came here to protect the statue. In the huge main city, there is a huge statue standing there. Unlike the guardian statue of Yanwang Ancient City, this statue is more delicate, but it is also smaller in size, more sinister and less energetic. How do I activate this thing? Lu Nan thought for a while. He even forgot how the guardian statue of Condor Eagle City appeared. It doesn't matter, go directly. With a wave of Lu Nan's hand, the sterile knights rushed to the doctor like locusts. How scary are epic undead creatures. Just look at those skeleton knights. The 3-meter-long bone gun swept wildly, and the buildings in the ancient city collapsed piece by piece. With such a strong body, it would be a waste not to relocate. Soon, Lu got his wish and Tien Tien became the goal. Rumble. The silent guardian statue seemed to have triggered some mechanism. The huge body erupted with dazzling light, and the veins and veins of muscles began to emerge from the stone body. Guardian statue, Black Yuan City. Grade. Legend. Life. 50 billion, 50 billion. Mana. 1 billion. Physique. 8,520 inches. Power. 6,100 inches. 3,500. Endurance. 5,600 inches. Combat rating. 39 stars. Skills. National Destiny * Spark Burning, National Destiny * Boiling Blood, National Destiny * Guardian of Life, National Destiny * Defensive Guard, National Destiny * Earth Explosion Star. National Luck Starfire. Every point of national luck will provide a certain bonus to the guardian statue, making the guardian statue stronger. Scarlet font. The stronger the national luck, the higher the bonus of all attributes. Please protect the national luck. National Luck Blood. The guardian statue consumes a certain amount of mana and sends out a roar that stretches for hundreds of miles. The job changers of the country they belong to will get a 20% combat power bonus. Scarlet font. The stronger the national fortune, the greater the combat power, the higher the success. Please protect the luck of the country. National Luck * Life Guardian. Guardian statue consumes a certain amount of mana and gains life bonus. The bonus effect depends on the strength of the national luck. Scarlet font. The stronger the national luck, the higher the bonus of all attributes. Please protect the national luck. National Luck * Defense Guardian. Guardian statue consumes a certain amount of mana and gains life bonus. The bonus effect depends on the strength of the national luck. Scarlet font. The stronger the national luck, the higher the bonus of all attributes. Please protect the national luck. National Fortune * Earth Explosion Star. The guardian statue consumes a lot of mana, summons a meteorite, and attacks the enemies within the range. The attack effect depends on the strength of the national fortune. Scarlet font. The stronger the national fortune, the higher the bonus of all attributes. Please protect it. National luck. Hiss. Although it was not the first time he encountered a guardian statue, Lu Nan couldn't help but gasp when he saw the attributes of the guardian statue. Other 4-dimensional attributes are nothing more than that. The life and mana almost blinded his eyes. This blood volume is really an exaggeration. You must know that the corpse of the evil god that I encountered before had only a blood volume of over 100 million. That is divine. Or, is there a fundamental difference between the corpse of the evil god and the living god? Lu Nan thought. The skills of guarding the statue are quite unique, and all of them are related to the national fortune. However, judging from the current situation, these skills are basically useless, and only one Earth Explosive Star is a bit threatening. Sparking Fire is a passive skill. Lu Nan estimated that the guardian statue can have so much HP and mana, which should be related to this skill. As for other bonuses, even if there is a little more, it is just a good meat shield. For him, as long as it is not the kind of existence that cannot break the defense, no matter how fleshy the meat shield is, it is just a matter of spending a little more time. Judging from the defeat of the guardian statue of Condor Eagle City, the time of its defeat will not be long. Sure enough, when the skeleton knights blatantly killed them, the performance of the guardian statue was worse than Lu Nan imagined. It's still related to agility. The huge size makes the agility of the guardian statue relatively weak. For those high-speed giants, the weakness may not be obvious, but for the skeleton knight with super agility, it is completely suppressed by speed. The skills that the skeleton knight comes with are as fast as the wind. When he is in action, his agility soars by 100%, reaching more than 5,000, which is close to Liuran. Almost twice the size of the guardian statue. Therefore, even though the opponent's strength is quite terrifying, it is a pity that there is nothing you can do if you miss it. Every second, the guardian statue is falling at an alarming rate. With its strong physical body and strength, the guardian statue can be said to be in the land of no one, and no skeleton knight dares to confront it. It's just the density of the skeleton knight, and the court will be attacked. The damage is also very scary, at least 3 to 4 million damage. It only takes a few hits to kill a skeleton knight. But there are not only 1 or 2 skeleton knights around, there are millions of them, and more skeleton knights are constantly rushing over. In less than half a minute, the guardian statue lost more than half of its HP. I don't know what's going to drop. It would be great if I could still drop the god-level luck rules scroll. Seeing the dwindling blood volume, Lunan suddenly became worried. No, if you are not a chieftain, it will be very difficult to have such a good opportunity in the future. 487. Lunan felt that it was impossible for a god-level item to drop so easily, so he thought about it and took out the Heart of Time. After several hours of accumulation, there is already some power of time above. Try it. Forward 1 second. In the next second, the guardian statue is still alive. The time is too short. Lunan could only waiting for the second before the guardian statue fell. However, considering that the time was too short and the skeleton knights cleared their blood too quickly, he began to let the skeleton knights control their blood. After reaching the last few 100 million blood volume, only a few odd warriors were left to attack. The guardian statue also seemed to know that he had reached a critical moment, and dazzling blue light continued to erupt from his body. Huge meteorites condensed and fell in midair, causing dozens of casualties to the skeleton knights below. In any country, not to mention dozens of rank 8 epic giants dying every half minute, even if they come once, it will hurt the muscles and bones. But for Lunan, it's really sprinkled water. Tens of. Add a few more zeros behind, and he won't frown. One skill has been replenished. Since he entered the Sakura country area, the mana he has consumed has not reached a fraction. Oh, by the way, because his attribute also has a mana recovery effect, so, basically, he puts a skill, and the mana will be fully recovered in the next second. Now, his mana is still full. Soon, the guardian statue had only one last blow left. Lunan picked up the Heart of Time with satisfaction. Move forward a second. The next moment, in Lunan's field of vision, he saw the feedback of the Heart of Time. In the picture, the huge statue fell down suddenly, and then turned into a ball of light, and then, some light seemed to break away from the misty light. Pipe. Lunan stared at it firmly, however, the next second, he couldn't help but curse secretly. I am Sao. As soon as the screen was revealed, it collapsed. Looking down, I saw that the power of time had been exhausted in the glass bottle of the Heart of Time. It turns out that the power of time is gone. Lunan has a toothache. However, recalling the scene just now, it seems that it is not for nothing. Those rays of light are a bit like the lights of props, so are they the things that drop after killing the guardian statue? Looking at the light, it seems that there is nothing like the scroll of god-level luck rules. It would be great if the power of time is enough. In this case, it is not impossible to show the picture 1 second later. Lunan looked at the dying guardian sculpture, with a hint of hesitation on his face. Forget it, anyway, this scroll has to be used within 7 days. I don't know if there will be such a good opportunity in the future, so don't let it rot in your hands. Lunan immediately took out the God-level Luck Rules scroll. Use is selected. You have used the Luck Rules scroll to get a God-level luck buff, which lasts for 24 hours. I looked at it, and there seemed to be nothing. Lunan looked at the boss in front of him suspiciously. Under his command, a large number of skeleton knights killed in the past. -1885. A scarlet injury jumped up, and the huge guardian statue, the leather surface full of veins, disappeared instantly, cracks spread continuously, and then collapsed. You killed the guardian statue of Black Yuan City. You get 1 million points of national tribute. You obtained the national luck for the Yan Kingdom and obtained the appraisal scroll God X1. You get the mysterious scroll fragment X5. There is no luck rule scroll. Lunan felt a little unhappy. It is estimated that the luck scroll is too advanced. However, it is not bad to have a god-level identification scroll. Just solve the problem with the mysterious scroll fragments. Try it out. What exactly is this mysterious scroll fragment? He took the appraisal scroll and tried to use it against the fragments. Please combine the fragments of the mysterious scroll into a complete mysterious scroll first. 10 fragments are required for synthesis. The prompt sounded. There is no other way but to leave it temporarily. There is also a guardian statue, I hope it won't let me down. Lu Nan sat on the undead bone horse and rushed towards the last main city. It's a pity that these main cities have been emptied, otherwise, just the items and resources in the shops inside would be enough to make his mouth water. In this situation where everyone has space for backpacks, it is really too easy to evacuate the resources of a store. Obviously, the fleeing dictators of the Sakura Kingdom put the resources in the first place and did not leave any resources for Lu Nan. A little scoured tea land. And when Lu Nan killed the guardian statue of Heiyuan City, people in the entire Sakura Kingdom heard the reminder from the rules of heaven and earth. On the World Channel, an obvious scarlet message slowly flashed across. The guardian statue of Heiyuan City is dead, the national luck of the cherry blossoms is reduced by 1%, the output of resources is reduced by 1%, and the birth probability of top talents is reduced by 1%, degree. The guardian statue of Heiyuan City is dead, the fortune of the cherry blossom country is reduced by 1%, the output of resources is reduced by 1%, and the birth probability of top talent is reduced by 1%. Those job changers in Sakura country who couldn't enter the public area because of their low level cursed loudly. Baga, where are the giants of our country? Why don't you guard our national games statue? I heard the news from my friend that before he left, the whole Black Yuan city was empty, those high-level guilds, even the people from the top guilds ran away. More than that, I heard that Lai Sun City has also been emptied. Baga, those guys really deserve seppuku. No matter how people in the country criticize, the giants of the high-level trade unions in the Sakura country are still doing their own things. Protect your head. Didn't you see the tragedy of the Condor Eagle City? If you have the ability to go by yourself, you will know BB. Although those giants in the public secret realm were cursing, they were relieved in their hearts, especially the giants of the Condor Union. After all, the main city was destroyed not only by their Condor Eagle Union, but also by the Black Yuan City controlled by the Black Yuan Union. I have company, don't panic. Moreover, looking at it this way, the last Liang City will also be lost. Sure enough, after a while, a scarlet reminder floated on the data panel of the job changers in the Sakura country. The Cherry Blossom country was invaded and suffered heavy losses. When no one woke up, the Cherry Blossom Guardian statue recovered on its own and launched a counterattack against the invaders. Warning, warning, the main city of Sakura is seriously damaged, please quickly go to the public area Liang City to support the job changers of Sakura. Once the Guardian statue dies, the national fortune of Sakura will be lost. Warning, warning, inside the border of Sakura country, there was a lot of shouting and cursing again, but unfortunately, there is no one of those giants that we usually see inside. Woo, how could this be? We have just left Yan country not long ago. Is it still too late to go back to Yan Kingdom? How can it be? Within the borders of the Sakura Kingdom, it took a lot of price in the past few years to change their identities and become the second dog of the Sakura Kingdom. Each of them felt more serious than the death of their parents. But there were also sneers. What's the momentary gains and losses? Don't forget, Yan Kingdom has no gods. That's right, looking at Yan Kingdom now, we have gained some advantages, but so what? Without gods, in the future, we can only be reduced to the last class. I was too excited just now, so I said, our choice is right. How can a country without gods rise again? Otherwise, we have worked so hard and paid a huge price to come to the country of cherry blossoms, what is it for? Driven by people with good intentions, the news of Yan country's godlessness prevailed again in Sakura country, fermenting at an extremely fast speed. But these have no effect on Lu Nan at all. At this moment, he was sitting on the back of a bone horse, busy with nervousness. The luck buff time is only 24 hours, he can't waste it. Try to see how the learning effect of heroic spirit skills is. Open the heroic spirit panel and buy 10,000 heroic spirit skill books in the store. They are all strengthened by life. Then, tap on the skill bar of the heroic spirit. Ding! Your heroic spirit has successfully learned heroic spirit life bonus, with an additional 1% mana bonus. The current bonus is 101%. One shot into the soul. Lu Nan laughed. This proves that the so-called luck buff on him is indeed useful, and it is not insignificant. You know, before I used the Heart of Time to strengthen this, it took an average of 40 or 50 times to succeed once. Again, ding, your heroic spirit has successfully learned heroic spirit life bonus, with an additional 1% mana bonus, and the current bonus is 101%. Comfortable, ding, your heroic spirit has successfully learned heroic spirit life bonus, with an additional 1% mana bonus, and the current bonus is 101%. Lu Nan directly learned how to be high. That kind of feeling is like a beggar who suddenly got trillions of wealth and went to the commercial street to buy extravagantly. Cool. Continue to shoot up the skills. And the life enhancement skills of the heroic spirit are also improving rapidly. Level 150, level 160. In a blink of an eye, I reached level 200. The life enhancement skill books consumed are only 4 or 500. On average, every 5 books are successful once. This kind of efficiency is simply not too outrageous. Is this the horror of God level luck buff? Simply inhuman. At this time, the Skeleton Knight began to enter Liang City, causing damage to the buildings of Liang City. When the damage reached a certain level, the sleeping guardian statue revived. Through the Skeleton Knight in front of him, he glanced at the guardian statue of Liang City, and ignored it. Now, nothing is more important than upgrading the skills of heroic spirits. Moments later, you killed the guardian statue of Heiyuan City. You get 1 million points of national tribute. You won the national fortune for the Yan Kingdom, and you got the Eye of Reality God X1. You get the mysterious scroll fragment X5. You get Sky Arena tickets. Your national tribute level has increased. The current level is 8 stars. Counting the national tribute harvested by other skeleton knights during this time period, the national tribute level just broke through 8 stars. Lu Nan let out a cry of surprise, and stopped shooting his skills. Look at the reward in the backpack. The Eye of Truth. Grade. God level. Purpose. Possessing it is to peek at the truth and break through the disguise. Nice one. With this thing, you are not afraid of those camouflage props. The Eye of Reality only needs to be placed in the backpack to take effect, which is very easy to use. No trouble at all. Lu Nan happily put it back in the conspicuous position of the space backpack. This kind of fetish should be seen frequently, which is comfortable and beneficial to physical and mental health. Then, he looked at the second item that surprised him. It was a ticket made of an unknown material, exuding a hazy light. Sky Arena tickets. Quality. Legend. Use. After use, it can be sent to the interior of the Sky Arena for trials. Note. Due to some reasons, the Sky Arena is temporarily unavailable. Please use this ticket 1 day later. Although I am very curious about what this so-called Sky Arena is, it is not available now, and there is nothing I can do about it. Moreover, the learning of heroic spirit skills cannot be left behind. After more than 10 minutes of shooting skills, the study of the life enhancement skill book began to have some difficulties. Originally, on average, 1 out of 5 books could be superimposed successfully, but now, only 1 out of 6 or 7 books. But the success rate is still very high. Lu Nan does not want to miss this opportunity. Let's learn other skill books first. The national tribute level has been raised to 8 stars, and the heroic spirit has an empty skill bar. Lu Nan opened the heroic spirit store and found new skills on it. When Lu Nan saw this new skill, he was slightly taken aback. It is actually a skill that reduces CD. Heroic Spirit Time Decay Skill Book. The cooling time of the main body skill is minus 0.1%, and the learning success rate will decrease as the level increases. Exchange requires 1000 national tribute points, and the level reaches 8 stars. Moreover, this skill is no longer aimed at the heroic spirit itself, but at the host itself. The effect of this skill is only 0.1% per layer. For others, the effect is basically dispensable, but for me, the potential is huge. Lu Nan grinned. I don't know, all of my skills have a 1-second cooldown. What will happen next? Like a machine gun, emitting a series of magic circles. No. Too violent. Lu Nan shook his head, but his heart burst into laughter. This skill is very practical and very suitable for him. Schedule now. Do you want to learn the Heroic Spirit Time Decay skill book? Study. Ding. Your heroic spirit has successfully learned heroic spirit time decay, and the cooldown of all your skills is reduced by 0.1%. The current bonus is 0.1%. Lu Nan exchanged 500 copies at once, and all of them were photographed. Half an hour later, ding! Your heroic spirit has successfully learned heroic spirit time decay, and the cooldown of all your skills is reduced by 0.1%. The current bonus is 10%. It's hard enough. If it weren't for the ability to stack infinitely, the effect of this skill is really mediocre. According to each star level, the skill limit is increased by 10 layers, and the 9-star national tribute level can only be raised to 100 layers, which is the same as his current layer number. However, Lu Nan has a deep understanding of how difficult it is to increase the skill level of a heroic spirit. If there is no other special assistance, a gangster like him may not be able to increase this skill to the limit of 100 levels in his lifetime. Next, he changed to other skill books and immersed himself in learning. The other side, 110 skeletons coming out of the undead plane. Titan Mog is leading a group of undead elites to appear in a leveling area. When it saw the breath of the undead left along the way, its shock became more and more obvious. This lord's strength is really too strong. Following along the way, it changed from a normal meeting at the beginning to a cautious one now. I'm afraid that this unknown big shot will be the kind of temperamental person. But it didn't dare not to go, otherwise, there would be a real conflict, and with the temperament of undead creatures, it would never die. With a cautious mood, Mog rides the skeleton dragon and slowly follows the upper floor. He didn't even dare to fly too high. It was afraid that it would be seen by that big man suddenly, and then because it flew too high, it would annoy the other party. Whose subordinate is this? My name is Mog, the undead Lord Rog. Not long after, Mog finally saw the subordinates of the great man. What a pure undead breath. The aura on the skeleton knight made it amazing. Some subordinates behind him couldn't help but feel a little uneasy. If it wasn't for Mog, the top-ranked 9 skeleton titan, they might have run away. In the eyes of the undead, a skeleton with a pure breath like a skeleton knight is definitely a rich and handsome man in the undead world, and it is easy to organize a group of undead teams to attack them. Undead plane. Lu Nan, who was shooting his skills, noticed something strange in the distance. Your Excellency, shocked Mog, I think you need the friendship from His Majesty Rog. Seeing that the skeleton knight remained silent, Mog originally wanted to show off his strength. Although the undead aura on the skeleton knight is pure and of high quality, its rank has not risen, so it is fully confident that it can suppress it. However, at this moment, a huge breath of undead suddenly rushed over. Behind those few skeleton knights, dense figures came out. The dreadful curtain of undead aura made the skeleton titan Mog couldn't help but take a few steps back, and the flames of undead jumping in his deep eye sockets exuded an emotion of fear. I read it wrong. Those skeleton knights are not subordinates of that big man, but just a group of cannon fodder. After realizing this, it knelt down on one knee and said tremblingly, Your Majesty, please forgive my rudeness. From addressing Your Excellency to Your Majesty, it can be seen intuitively that the attitude of the skeleton titan Mog has changed. At this time, the things sent by the skeleton titan Mog also entered Lu Nan's space backpack. After seeing something, Lu Nan immediately decided to kill Mog. Because this thing is actually a ticket to the plane of the undead. Invitation from the undead monarch. Mission item. Description. For some friendly and powerful undead creatures, Rog, the overlord of the undead plane, will send an invitation card. When necessary, he will open the coordinates of the undead plane, inviting him to the plane for friendly exchanges. Quote. The two are friendly on the invitation. Unless Lu Nan doesn't plan to use this thing, then he must not do anything to that Mog. In this case, my rule is to give the most precious gift when meeting for the first time. Mog, right, are you and your subordinates going to abide by my rule? Looking at the increasing number of skeleton knights around him, Mog lowered his head slightly. Soon, Lu Nan harvested a large amount of items and equipment again. Among them, many of them were taken out by undead creatures who seemed to be able to see everything at a glance. I don't know where they hide their stuff. Lu Nan wondered if they also had something similar to a space backpack. After a general look, many things are good, that is, his vision is relatively picky now, otherwise, it is really not bad. Among them, many are rare materials. A smile appeared on Lu Nan's face. In front of these materials, he actually saw a lot of materials that could be exchanged for Yumeng Saint magic set. In addition to the nightmare crystals obtained by hunting the boss, it is completely enough to exchange for the remaining suit parts. Is this luck buff at work? Lu Nan suddenly thought. The direction to the west is a restricted area. You and the undead under your hands cannot go there, you know. Lu Nan took a few skill books, listened to the prompts of continuous success, passed the skeleton knights in the distance with a satisfied face, and issued admonitions to Mog and the group of undead. Yes. When the boss spoke, it was impossible for these undead to go down, so he quickly gave orders to the undead below through the fire of the soul. In an instant, the Yan country area completely became a restricted area for these undead. Lu Nan didn't intend to continue talking nonsense with these undead from other planes, but in the end, he had a whim and used the ability of the Eye of Reality. Immediately, a bunch of attributes of high-speed undead appeared in the field of vision. Skeleton Titan Mog. Blood volume, 120 million. Mana, 8 million. Constitution, 6,000. Combat rating, 6,500 stars. Skills, Bone Grip, Bone Wound, Bone Strengthening, Guardian of the Undead. The Master of the Dead. HP, 80 million. Mana, 10 million. Constitution, 5,000. J, 3,888. 3,680. J, 4,900. Combat rating, 5,100 stars. Skills, Undead Summoning, Undead Possession, Undead Curse, Undead Scourge, Skeleton Manipulation. The attributes of this group of undead are still very strong, especially the Skeleton Titan, whose combat power has reached an astonishing 6,500 stars. It's not far from me. Sure enough, there are still many powerful species in this world. If you don't work hard, you will be caught up. I took a few heroic skills and all succeeded. Lu Nan ignored the undead and took out the mysterious scroll fragments in his backpack. Do you want to consume 10 mysterious scroll fragments to synthesize? Yes, you got a mysterious scroll. Lu Nan took out the god-level appraisal scroll in his backpack again. Do you want to use the god-level identification scroll on the mysterious scroll? Reminder. Different levels of identification scrolls have different identification effects on mysterious scrolls. There is a certain probability that it will lead to changes in the final item information. Do you want to continue? 1. Hiss. Is it a matter of probability? Lu Nan looked at the Heart of Time. After such a while, there is a little more power of time in it. Use it. The power of time is not enough, please continue to accumulate. That's all. Now is the time to witness character. No, it's time to witness the power of God-level luck buff. Appraise me. An astonishing burst of light burst out. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, blue, purple. A total of 7 colors are constantly changing. The feeling is like spinning a slot machine. Rao Lu Nan had a big heart, so he couldn't help but feel a little nervous at this time, staring at the above. Snapped. 2 more skill books were taken. Success. Good sign. The next moment, the light settled down, and it was fixed on the gray. Lu Nan stretched out his hand to grab it, and in an instant, the expression on his face froze. I wipe. This thing is going to explode. In his hand was a brand new scroll. Equipment Promotion Scroll, God. Grade, God level. Purpose. Select a piece of equipment above the legendary level to use, which will make it eligible for promotion. A scroll that transforms sanctuary level equipment into artifacts. Lu Nan was nothing short of a pleasant surprise. Then he looked at the equipment on his body. Holy rank is the basic requirement, so there is nothing to say, and the weapon Yumeng Spirit was directly selected. Didn't know what would change. Lu Nan was a little worried that the god-level scroll would remove the best skill of Yumeng Ling. After all, his Yumeng Spirit is not a coquettish weapon like the real Yumeng Saint magic set, but the corpse of an evil god is bound inside. Much stronger than the Nightmare Lord. But it is impossible for this god-level scroll to be left here. Now is the time to fight for character, fight for buff. Do you want to use the equipment promotion scroll, God, on the ghost of the dream? Use. A thick gray light shot up into the sky, and it took more than 10 seconds before it disappeared completely. At the same time, Lu Nan also heard the prompt. Congratulations, you have obtained the artifact Yumeng Spirit. Dream Spirit Weapon. Grade. God level. +10000. +2000. +50. Dexterity +50. Constitution +50. Stamina +50. Skill. Dreamland Sprint. Escape into the dreamland for a short time, increase the agility by 300%, and the duration is 10 minutes. The cooling time is 1 hour. Phantom Spirit God Binding Cadia, Dream God. Life +750W, Mana +50W. Strength +250, Constitution +250, Agility +200, Endurance +225. Devour God. You can upgrade the level by devouring equipment, and change the increase of all attributes. Grade. 1 turn. Reference mark. This is a weapon that should not be exposed to the world, it should be in the hands of the dream gods. Basic attribute bonus changes. Originally, Lu Nan just saw the above basic attributes, and couldn't help but feel a little bit in his heart. It is a good thing that there are more basic attribute bars, but the total number of 4-dimensional attributes has not changed much, which makes him a little worried. This is the artifact. Too disappointed. However, after seeing the last god level skill devouring, he was completely comfortable. Although looking at the attributes of Yumeng Spirit comprehensively, there is no change from before, but it only breaks the equipment level limit, so this god level promotion scroll is not bad at all. Try it and see the effect. There is a large amount of equipment in Lu Nan's space backpack. He originally thought that he would go to the trading bank to dispose of it after returning this time, but he didn't expect to use it at this moment. Do you want to devour this equipment? Yes. According to Lu Nan's confirmation, a piece of rank 2 Baijin equipment in his hand turned into a beam of light and submerged into the ghost of Yumeng. Then, something similar to an experience bar popped up on the equipment interface. 0.1%. ZZ, this appetite is really big. Lu Nan secretly thought. However, he lacks everything, except that he does not lack equipment. If he really can't do it, he will buy another wave after he returns. Seeing that the phagocytosis had worked, Lu Nan immediately threw in pieces of equipment in the space backpack all at once. 0.2%. 0.3%. As the number of feedings increases, the experience bar is also constantly increasing. This devouring is good, but it's too time-consuming, you need to feed one by one. Lu Nan frowned and stopped. The effective time of god-level buff is limited, and it is indeed violent to use it for this kind of thing. Return the things for the time being, and feed them later when there is time, and then ride the beloved undead bone horse, while walking back, and tap skills on the skill bar of the heroic spirit. As the skill level increases, the number of failures becomes more and more frequent, but for now, it is still within Lu Nan's tolerance. Today's goal is to spend all these millions of tribute. After more than an hour, he returned to the resident of the Yangwang Trade Union and plunged into the residence. In his eyes, all he could see were the system prompts that kept popping up. In a blink of an eye, 10 hours passed. Lu Nan's eyes were red, his hands were trembling, and he stopped. Although I think I can work harder, but now there is really nothing I can do. After 10 hours of continuous learning, the heroic spirit's skill level has risen to a very scary level, but also because of this, the failure rate has increased to a very scary level. At least one god level luck buff cannot be blocked. Forget it, let's go here. If you go any further, you will be cross-eyed. Lu Nan walked out of the residence, looked at the eternal sun in the secret realm, and then opened the heroic spirit interface, with an unconcealable shock on his face. Wouldn't that be a little too outrageous? Ordinary heroic spirit. Gender, female. Rating, 8 stars. Lives, 440 million. Mana, 24 million. Constitution, 40,000. J, 40,000. Agility, 40,000. T, 40,000. Bonus effect for the protagonist himself: life plus 8%, mana plus 8%, 4-dimensional attributes plus 8%. Skill bonus effect for the hero itself: 600%. Mana bonus, 600%. Physical bonus, 600%. Strength bonus, 600%. Agility bonus, 600%. Stamina bonus, 600%. All attribute bonus, 600%. Skill cooldown decay bonus, 500%. Lu Nan himself is numb. The blood volume and mana are all good. After all, I have seen the existence of the Guardian statue with 50 billion blood volume, but is the four-dimensional attribute really serious? If this heroic spirit can be released, I really don't know how much it will explode. Lu Nan shook his head and sighed. It is only by hanging on the wall like myself that I can cultivate such a terrifying baby. Unfortunately, this heroic spirit can only grant attribute bonuses. Lu Nan then looked at his attribute panel, finally showing a comforting smile on his face. In front of heroic spirits, I'm a dir. But in reality, I'm probably a dir. Name: Lu Nan. Title: Necromancer. Level: LV 200, 3 turns. HP: 44.7 million. 360. Physique: 6,915. 5,980. Agility: 6,000. Stamina: 5,750. Free attribute points: 0 points. Divinity: 6 points. Combat score: 10,888 stars. Equipment: Ghost of Yumang, Armor of Yumang, Feather of Yumang. Skill: Skeleton Summoning, level 180,000, consume 1 mana to summon 180,000 units of skeleton warriors, epic cooldown time 0.2 seconds. Night Funeral, level 120,000, consume 1 point of mana, summon 120,000 units of skeleton knights, epic cooldown time 0.2 seconds. Undead Swamp, level 50,000, consume 1 mana to summon an undead swamp, endowing enemies with slow, poisoned and other negative states for 50,000 seconds. Cooldown time 0.2 seconds. Guardian of the Undead, level 40,000, consume a certain amount of mana to form a chain of undead, binding the body to 40,000 undead creatures. When injured, 100% of the damage will be transferred. Duration: 40,000 minutes. Cooldown: 0.2 second. The overall attributes are directly doubled, and the combat power has officially broken through the 10,000 star mark. I don't know what kind of combat power the president and the others are. Lu Nan was a little curious. It suddenly occurred to him that since he separated from Huang Fengyang, he hadn't seen them again. I don't know what to do. The me now should be better than a rank 9 professional, but I shouldn't be too careless. You must know that the world is not exhausted at rank 9. Lu Nan remembered something, and took out the summoning mission items from his backpack. When seeing the progress shown above, the exhilaration brought about by the soaring strength has also decreased a lot. It was still 36% last time, and now it has increased by 1 percentage point. It seems that even if I get this quest item, I can't stop the recovery of the Sakura god. Lu Nan felt a sense of urgency, and he didn't care to indulge in this refreshing feeling of soaring strength. God level buff still has a lot of time, let's see how we can use it. Lu Nan wanted to farm some magic diamonds, but he had just joined the Union, and in less than a week, he couldn't get the brand to enter the magic diamond dungeon. The magic diamond is a material used to strengthen the equipment. It has the same probability of success as learning the skill book of the heroic spirit. Unfortunately, there is only one god level buff scroll. Looking at the job transfer task, the king level bosses have all been completed, leaving the remaining 3 epic level, legendary level and sanctuary. What made Lu Nan a little depressed was that the guardian statue of Sakura was not counted on the legendary boss. Difficult to do. How about asking Giant Shu? Last time Shu Wei had something to leave in a hurry, and now I don't know if I have time. Lu Nan tried to send a message to Shu Wei, but the wording was tactful. After all, he is still a rookie. Sister Shu, may I ask, where can I find a boss above the epic level? Bosses above epic level. Outside Yangwang Ancient City, Shu Weizheng, Lu Lao, and a group of giants left by other trade unions are waiting in full force. Before the situation is clear, they cannot relax in the slightest. At this time, Shu Wei frowned, looking at the message that popped up on the data panel. Point 0. Why are you looking for those things? Shu Wei was speechless. As the first rank, she definitely has talent and strength. Even if Lu Nan asked about a king-level boss, she wouldn't think too much about it. However, epic, or boss, this is equivalent to the existence of a top-rank 8 job changer. Isn't this sequence 1 too ambitious? Shu Wei sighed. What's the matter? Lu Zhen heard her words, turned around and asked. Shu Wei didn't hide anything and told the news from Lu Nan. Lu Zhen frowned slightly, but he relaxed after a while, and said with a smile, maybe he has the confidence to deal with the 8-rank boss quickly. Thinking of the feeling when he saw Lu Nan before, Lu Zhen was also a little surprised. Lu Nan gave him a very strange feeling, a feeling of seeing through and not seeing through. He didn't know that what he saw through was only Lu Nan's personal attributes, but he couldn't see Lu Nan's hidden strength, so he had such a strange feeling. But he, who came from a rank 9 powerhouse, still had some confidence in his own judgment. Xu Wei nodded helplessly. Of course she didn't dare to refute Lu Lao's words, so she just muttered for a while before sending a message to Lu Nan. Bosses above the epic level can generally only be found in the secret realm. The specific area is recorded in the bookstore in our Union resident. You can look for it. However, as far as I know, there are epic level bosses and even bosses above the legendary level or basically on cooldown. Cooling. Lu Nan was a little surprised when he saw the news. It takes a long time to refresh high-level secret realms. This is just an epic level boss. If it is a legendary level boss, then the refreshing time does not know how long. In this way, Lu Nan suddenly remembered the nightmare dungeons that had been wiped out by him in the country. It seemed that they disappeared after the corpse of the evil god was taken care of by him. Does it mean that monsters that reach a certain level are actually unique? Lu Nan turned on the map navigation and quickly found the Union's reference room. Not long after, I found the boss information that Xu Wei said. Legendary races, do they all belong to the boss template? When Lu Nan saw the information above, there was a trace of weirdness in Lu Nan's eyes. He remembered that when he had completed the job transfer task of the 3rd rank before, he had obtained a devil's token. According to the information, the Devil clan belongs to the legendary race. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.